welcome back to another painting stream here on youtube.com/Johnny Chiodini. I am Johnny Chiodini, so hi to you all. Today we're going to be painting some vampires who are also pirates. We'll get to that in just a moment, but before, I actually want to just take a moment to talk a little bit about the football last night, or rather the disgraceful behaviour that's followed it. In case you aren't aware, or you're watching this long after the fact and you need a bit of context, last night was the final of the European Championship. The European Championship. Italy and England were in the final, and England lost. And after that, there's been a lot of racist abuse directed, in particular at three players, Saka, Rashford, and Sancho, and I just want to come out and say that it's absolutely abhorrent. I think the England team has an awful lot to be proud of, and it's disgraceful that they face racist abuse. It's dreadful and it's shocking, but and I do want to be really clear on this. It's also not surprising in the least. I think when all of this happens, whenever it happens in this country, people want to distance themselves from it and say that that's not us, or these people don't represent us, but it is us, and those people do represent us. I mean, top government ministers, including the Prime Minister of Great Britain, sanctioned booing these players for taking the knee to make a stand against racism and homophobia. And then later on, those same people tried to cynically align themselves with that team when they started doing well, and they felt like there was something to be gained from aligning themselves with that success. In doing so, they gave racists the green light to behave like this. And the people who were abusing Saka, Rashford, and Sancho, like I said before, they are us. They represent us. This is what we are as a nation. We can't just say, no, that's not us, because it's right there in front of us. Like, it is undeniable. There's a rot that's set into this country that is so deep and so ingrained, and it's absolutely disgusting, and change needs to be made to stamp that out. But honestly, we can't do that as long as we try and divorce ourselves from these people and their actions and act like it's just a few bad apples that aren't a part of our national identity, because they are. England is a racist country. Racism is a huge problem up and down the United Kingdom, and those players, along with black people and other people of colour up and down the nation, they deserve better. And to be very, very, very clear about this, if anyone disagrees with that, then please unsubscribe, cancel your Patreon pledge, turn off this stream and leave, because you won't be missed. And the same goes for anybody who thinks that I shouldn't be talking about this stuff on stream, that I should just stick to games because they don't think this stuff is relevant. It's extremely relevant to each and every one of us. I'm not going to stop talking about it, and I'm not sorry. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that matter, really. Now that's out the way, let's talk about vampires who are also pirates, because these are there's a company called Punga Miniatures. They make sort of teams for fantasy football games like Blood Bowl, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how they haven't been sued into the ground, because they have a whole range of miniatures that are so identical to Skaven models from Age of Sigmar that it is unbelievable. But recently they released a team of vampires who are also pirates, and I couldn't resist buying them. I actually painted this last night while watching the football final to keep my hands busy. There it is. Alex Zaglinska says, vampirates? Yeah, pretty much. So I've sort of been doing a test colour scheme for this lot, and this is what I've come out with. So I'm going to try and finish this model today, and then I've got more of them to start painting, and we're just generally going to spend 4 hours chilling out and almost certainly making really laboured pirate jokes. So I'm playing in a Blood Bowl league at the minute. As if you've seen anything on this channel before, you will know, because I never shut up about Blood Bowl these days. But we're having such fun with this league that we're talking about doing a second league, which is when I'm going to run goblins, and then the third league, I'm going to start running these pirates. But I've already started working on their lore. They are going to be basically the idea is they are a team that's been playing Blood Bowl for 300 years and has never won a game. Just give me one sec. Specky4i has done a super chat. Say, Johnny, you being you is why we are here. Absolutely well said. Thank you very much, Specky. To be honest, I didn't think it was going to be a controversial statement within this community, but I just wanted to say something anyway. But, right, vampires. Blood Bowl players have never won a game in 300 years. And in this game, you have vampires and you have human thralls. I think in the sort of the backstory of this team, they've actually... The Nice Switch says, Nosferatical? Is that anything? I like it. I really like it. The thralls are meant to be humans that are just doing the vampire's bidding. In this team, they were getting so tired of having to train up new thralls that they actually just turn them into vampires. So they're all immortal, but the thralls aren't allowed to do anything vampire-y. They have to pretend to only be as strong as humans and as fast as humans. And I want to say, like, about 150 years ago, they consulted a PR expert who was like, here's how you start winning games. Here's how you get fans behind you. You rebrand as pirates. So now, like, this actually quite, like, regal vampire team is also pretending to be pirates, but because they've still not won a game, their nickname is the Succaneers. I don't know what their actual team name is yet. It'll be something like Regency Blood Bowl Vampire Extraordinaires, but everyone calls them the Succaneers. So yeah, that's kind of the bump for this, and I kind of feel like they've kept the PR consultant alive and possibly like in a box ever since then, and they drag him to all of the games, almost like a mascot, but more just because they're furious with him. Anyway, oh my God, Cookie Cat 94, you've done a super chat, so I have to read it out. It reads, recently saw a movie about killing dwarf vampires, but it had no tension. The stakes were too low. So we can all enjoy that one. And Aoife Byrne has come in with, now it's just a routine sticker. It's everybody's favourite pair wearing a headband who's reclining and waving, going, how's it going? It's going pretty well, Aoife. Thank you very much. Although I didn't get much sleep last night. Partly because I was full of adrenaline after the sport happened, but it was mostly that. I just sort of stayed up until about 4 a.m. just staring at the ceiling. So there we go. So yeah, let's paint some vampires who are also pirates. It's very funny. Like I said, Punga puts out a lot of miniatures, and they put out it's a Skaven team, like they are rat men, but they're also pirates for some reason. They just love taking a team and going, and we'll slap pirates on there as well. Nathaniel Levy says, has the team forgotten their original team name? I've toyed with that as an idea. Gareth Robson says, surely you should be wearing an eye patch while you're painting. I find depth perception to be quite useful, actually, Gareth. So I'll hold fire for now, but never say never. Has the team forgotten the original team name? I kind of feel like no. I feel like they're annoyed that everyone calls them the Succaneers because it's disrespectful and they think they're amazing, even though they've never won a game. I mean, hopefully, the season I play them in, they will start playing and winning games, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Andy says, we all love it too, so what can we say? As a marketing scheme, the pirate thing works. It does, but it doesn't help them win matches, is sort of where I'm going with this. But yeah, this is partly why I love Blood Bowl so much, because like I started out playing Age of Sigmar, and I've got a 40k army and stuff. It's all very serious, even when I'm playing like the rat men who have hilarious mechanical devices and run away at the first sign of danger. It still feels very serious, but Blood Bowl is just very tongue-in-cheek. It just really knows what it is, and that's why I like it. But yeah. Anyway, that was a whole lot of That was a whole lot of chat, wasn't it? Silent Cobb says, "Do you keep losing in the league to maintain the charm of the backstory?" That's exactly what I'm going to say I'm doing if I get my butt handed to me every single game. How are you, chat? I realise I've been talking quite a bit, but I've not yet checked in with you. Are you well? What are you working on this week? Are you crafting or are you just chilling? What's the good word? A random L has done a super chat to say, thanks to your Discord, I joined a lovely D&D group, and now me and one of the members are having a girly game of No Man's Sky together tonight. Thank you for this lovely community you've started. That sounds like a delight. I played quite a bit of No Man's Sky when it first came out, partly for work, because I was still working at Eurogamer and we wanted to make videos about it, but also because I really enjoyed it. But I did then burn out on it, and I've gone back to it a couple of times, and it's a completely different game, but unfortunately I still feel a bit burnt out, so I've not played it with any meaningful multiplayer, and I'm kind of sad about that, like, because it does seem bloody brilliant, and I love bimbling around in games with people. At the minute, I'm weirdly playing quite a lot of Zoo Tycoon. It's on Game Pass, and it turns out it's amazing in co-op, like utterly phenomenal. I've spent a lot of time over the weekend building zoos with friends. It's hard to explain. I think I'm going to stream that game on Thursday. I don't think I'll have anyone joining me. I've asked my friends, and it looks like they're all busy, but it's still just so much fun. I think I just missed another super chat. Aoife Byrne has Aoife Byrne has done a super chat. Say, hi Johnny, I also didn't get much sleep last night. I've been dealing with workplace bullying, and it's recently gotten worse after I reported it. Too much stress for sleep. Aoife, that sounds horrible. Firstly, you shouldn't be having to deal with that in the first place. But secondly, for it to get worse after reporting it, like, that's not how that should go. You did a courageous thing, and if they value you at all, they should be protecting you. I'm really, really very sorry to hear that, and I hope it clears up soon. Because obviously, no one wants to have to quit their job, especially, when the problem is that other people are being dicks. But please do take care of yourself. Like, your safety and your own well-being is paramount. So, yeah, good luck. And I really, really hope the situation cleans up soon. That's fucking awful. Ugh. Will says, I'm shite, thanks. I'm looking at how to find a house to buy, and Christ, it's miserable. Buying a house is, oh my God, it's excruciating. It's really, really grim. Rob J says, this week I'll mostly be painting up the heroes and BBEG from Zombicide BP and the characters from Talisman. Delightful. James Marston has done a super chat to say, recently acquired my dream electric guitar, brackets Gibson Explorer Gothic, hello, and I'm waiting on the amp head and speaker cab to be delivered. A chill stream is helping with my buggered up right shoulder blade. I'm sorry about your buggered up right shoulder blade. Hopefully it's not going to affect you shredding that sweet new axe. Did I get away with that? Probably didn't sound too much like an uncool dad. God, I mean, Gibson guitars are absolutely beautiful. I started out playing Epiphones. I've never actually owned a Gibson, but they are a thing of beauty. So hopefully you can see the difference here. Let's just adjust the focus a tiny smidge. There we go. I've been working on the cloak to try and build a sense of light and dark into it. I'm going to keep doing this, adding... It was a mix of these two purples, and I'm going to keep adding more of the light purple to kind of layer it up as I go. So, hope you like capes, because I'm going to be painting one for a little while. Hot Shame, what a username. Hot Shame has done a super chat to say, the only Warhammer knowledge I have is from Total War Warhammer 2. I would like to think the Succaneers are canon in Warhammer lore. Well, I mean, I could write to them and be like, hey, look, I've had an idea, Games Workshop, and you can have this one, but we'll see. Thank you very much for the super chat. Good. And Will said, no, you did not get away with that. Good to know. Thank you very much. I will not talk about anyone shredding a sweet axe again. I can't make that promise, can I? I'll try not to. How's that? Hot Shame says, also this week I'll be working on some more material for my stand-up comedy routine that I'll be starting soon. Sweet. Yeah, you lock in that tight 5. That sounds great. Stand-up feels very scary to me, so hats off to anyone who's doing it. Andy says, it's the crisp pronunciation of shredding that I think puts me off saying you got away with it entirely. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll own up to that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is why I like painting with purple, because it's fun and easy to layer. Oh. As you can probably tell, I've gone back to manual focus on the camera, because during painting streams, the camera just kept focusing on my beard, which was annoying. So right, if that's my return position, it does mean a bit more of me fiddling around with the camera, but I think it's okay. I hope, anyway. I mean, the good thing is, you're hardly going to be watching these streams to pick up expert techniques. I am, as Gerard Butler might describe me, were I in 300, a brave amateur. So I hardly have like any super secret weapon techniques to impart. Whoop. Yeah. Okay, I'm enjoying this. It's nice to be painting. I kept wanting to do it over the weekend, and then firstly I played a shitload of Zoo Tycoon, but also I just couldn't find the energy. And then last night I painted this, but that was more just nervous energy. I don't really remember painting it. Aoife Burns done another super chat to say, at this point I'm just waiting things out until she transfers back to her old place when they reopen. In good news, her sister got her first vaccine yesterday and she's totally fine somehow. Oh, in good news, my sister got her first vaccine yesterday, excuse me, and she's totally fine somehow. Oh, I'm really glad your sister's not struggling with the vaccine. And yeah, hopefully the waiting won't be too long or excruciating, because fuck that. James Marston says, this is another super chat, says, I just clocked the tattoo on your right hand. Who does your ink? This one in particular was done at Carbon Tattoo in Hove by a man named Harry Robbins, who also did, let's just do this, the snake skeleton that runs down my arm, the wild boar I have tattooed on the inside of my arm, did this on the inside of my forearm, which is a key being ground down on a file. That's everything Harry's done on me, I think. Yeah. Phenomenal artist, really, really lovely person. Just a great talent, so can recommend. Oh, it's warm today. It is also muggy today. Like, there was a glorious, delicious rain last night that I really enjoyed. At about 1 a.m, I went and sat on the balcony for a while, and it was just nice. But unfortunately, that has just led to mugginess today. So, not loving it. Oh, thank you for the kind words about the tattoos, everyone. I like them, which is good, because I can't get rid of them now. Paul Vash says, where is the Kraken tattoo? I don't have a Kraken tattoo. So that's where that is. Nowhere. I have a whaling tattoo, but that's on my thigh, and that's a bit more skin than I want to show anyone. Ronnie and Jackwood are in the chat. Hello. You know what, if I'm going to wear these headphones and sweat into my cans, I should probably play myself some music to make it worthwhile. Just going to mix this paint up, and then, if you'll give me a second, I'm just going to put something in my ear holes. Let's see. That'll do. Moose asks, Johnny, your thoughts on Wurf? which I think is Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I don't think I've ever played Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I've played Age of Sigmar Soulbound, which is sort of the newest incarnation, and it clunky. It clunky in a very reassuring Age of Sigmar way. Like, I think when we were putting together, because this was when I was still at Dicebreaker, we were putting together character sheets, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, there's so much to keep track of and write down and like derive and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Yeah. This just feels exactly like looking at a war scroll from AOS." So I thought it was fun. It wasn't the most mind blowing system I've ever played, but it was a giggle to run around in that world and be a character and overlord for a bit. But I know some people who really love Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and more power to them, really. But no, I never played it. I actually came to role playing quite late. I was in my early 20s. When did I start role playing? 2012, probably? Yeah, about 2012. So not even a decade yet. And I was straight in with Deadlands, and then Fading Suns, which is a sort of space opera. It was years, and fuck, there it is. It was years before I actually tried D&D, and that was only because some friends wanted to give it a bash, and I offered to run the Minds of Fandolver for them, which was great fun, but you know. Doot. Right, so here's how it's looking for now. Quite pleased with how this has come together, to be honest. Kind of wanted the armor to look very bone-like. I've got a bit more layering to do on it, but generally speaking, I feel like it treads the line nicely between it a vampire and it a pirate. There we go. Koshtub Chowan says, Johnny, did you celebrate the Italy win yesterday? Yes, but very, very mutely. My neighbours invited everyone on our floor over to theirs to watch it. And I turned up before the game, had a couple of drinks with them, gave them a bottle of Prosecco to be like, here, look. And then when the match was actually on, I scuttled back in here and watched it at my desk with my headphones in, because I didn't want to split the room and be a nervous Italian supporter in the corner. And then afterwards, I went and joined them and was like, hi, is everyone okay? So, yeah, that's about it. Oh, but, you know, obviously my family's WhatsApp went off. My brother and I were sort of pleased. But anyway. William Black says, no peg leg. I think one of the models has a peg leg. Oh, is it this one? No. I think one of them does. I'm going to work on this one next. Oh, Emma Benson says, also happy non-binary awareness week. Yeah. I actually didn't realise it was until I saw it on Instagram earlier. The next one I'll work on is this mostly topless mate, because I really just want to get stuck in and try and paint up that skin really nicely. So these sculpts are brilliant. There's a really, like... This guy is very much like really stretching his neck out. And I want to really try and paint that well. So, yeah. James Marston has done another super chat. Goodness me. Final super chat before I head off to the second part of my D&D group's one-shot. You asked last week if I was running or playing. Strictly playing for now, but working on a low fantasy ancient Greece campaign for them. Yes, please. That sounds lovely. Have a tremendous time playing D&D. Thank you very much for tuning in and for the super chats that are really, really very, very generous. Cheerful Spider says, a peg leg on a vampire? Are you mad? Very, very good point. Although I think that's a thrall. So, I mean, some of them like to play dangerously. Some vampires just want to watch the world burn, become a vampire. I don't know. I'm really struggling to find some music I want to listen to. That's fine. I'll just put that on. Okay. Insane Raven says, mostly topless mate, best outfit for a succaneer. Fair. Try and get some variation on the blue of this jacket. That works. Yeah, okay. That's all right. Nordfjord's done a super chat saying, greetings, Johnny. Sending some love and cash while I prep to run Curse of Strahd with your soothing voice in the background. Hope all is well. I'm very well, thank you, Nordfjord, for your super chat and for asking. Well, for wishing me well, I guess. Good luck running Curse of Strahd. I've played a bit of it. I played sort of a very, very, very condensed version of Curse of Strahd when I was at Dicebreaker when we streamed. Or did we? No, we recorded a Let's Play using Roll20, which was interesting. I don't really get on with Roll20 very well. I find it sort of more of a hindrance than a help, if I'm perfectly honest. Right, there's a bit more blue in that coat, trying to sort of bring out the regal element. I quite like the trim being dark, actually, so I might go back over that and make it even deeper. We shall see. Yeah. Okay. Kind of motoring through this, chap. I really thought this would take ages, but it's good. It means we can go straight on to the next model, and you can sort of see. Nathaniel Levy says, "What? Some vampires just want to watch the world turn to ash." That's it. That's the soundbite, isn't it? Now say it like Michael Caine. Some vampires just want to watch the world turn to ash. Master Way. Yep. Digging out the old Vallejo Pale Sand, which is fast becoming my favourite paint. I use it on pretty much everything. Martin Champion says, hey Johnny, how are you finding the new Games Workshop brushes? I really like them. This is a synthetic brush from Games Workshop, or from Citadel as they're sort of known. And it turns out they're great. They really hold together well. I like the fact the bristles are really lightly coloured, because it lets you show when your brush isn't actually clean, which is a problem for me quite a lot, it turns out. And yeah, it's they're just good. For the expense, I think they're probably the best synthetic brushes I've used so far, but I've not used loads and loads and loads, so take that with a pinch of salt. The Nice Switch says, wow, it was like he was in the room with us. Thank you. You're very, very kind. I would say too kind. Of course, though, Michael Caine's defining role in my mind will always be Ebenezer Scrooge in Muppet's Christmas Carol, which is one of my favourite films of all time. I watch it every Christmas and I bawl my eyes out at Tiny Tim. Because who wouldn't? There we go. Right, there we go. Hopefully you can see from this knee pad versus this knee pad. I'm going back over it to try and sort of bring out some of these details a little bit, so it's not all just sort of a homogeneous bone mash. Why did I say that? The question, Ronnie, the question on everyone's mind is, but how does pale sand taste? Nothing. Get like absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Mancoy says, question, how does one celebrate Christmas on the unemployment line? Bloody brilliant film. there's a cinema in Leicester Square in London called the Prince Charles, which is an independent cinema that does like really cheap tickets, and they show films a few weeks after they've already been in cinemas or whatever. But they also do events, like they do a sing along Sound of Music, and at Christmas they do sing along a Muppets Christmas Carol. And I always go with friends. Well, try to. Obviously, we didn't go in 2020, but we go along, and let's just say it's not difficult to take alcoholic beverages into that place, and I always break out a hip flask when the Ghost of Christmas Present turns up, because he's a little absent-minded spirit, or is he a large absent-minded spirit? I'm ready for winter. I really am. Team People has done a super chat saying, DM'd for 5 hours yesterday with no notes. 5 hours of improv. My brain hurts now. How do you handle these long sessions? Love you. Thank you very much for the super chat. Love you too, Team People. 5 hours with no notes whatsoever. That's long. I don't tend to do it for that long without notes. Calling a toilet break can sometimes help. No spoilers, but I recorded something recently with some people. And at one point I was like, can we take 10? Because I'll be honest with you, after the way this has gone, I could do with a few minutes just to catch up and get my head straight. And they were totally cool with it, because, we've worked together before for a while, actually. So, yeah. 5 hours without notes, that is Herculean. And frankly, I should be asking you for advice, because that is long. But it's, it is exhausting. DMing is exhausting. So how do I handle the long sessions? I make sure there's a good break in there at some point, but just sort of grim determination and knowing I'm going to be knackered afterwards. And I have a beer on hand, generally speaking. 5 hours with no notes, though. Sam Street has done a super chat saying, my wife and I watch Muppets Christmas Carol every year too. Thing is, I can never help laughing at Tiny Tim's cough. I'm a bad person, aren't I? Look, I don't want to be the one to say it, Sam, but yes, you are. You are an absolutely dreadful person. Shame on you. Burrito's on a super chat saying, hi Johnny, how are you? Thank you for your words at the start of the stream and your tweets in solidarity with the England team. Unrelated, currently trying to figure out how to get into making synth/tape music. Synthesizers are expensive. They are. I did not realise this, but a friend of mine has started putting together like a proper modular thing. And it's fascinating and terrifying in equal measure, because I'm like, that thing looks cool. And they're like, yeah, I hope I don't break it putting it in. Also, it cost this much money. It's like, wow. I mean, like, it's worth it. This guy's making a really good investment because he's a great musician. But it's still like, when you sort of idly think about a hobby and you're like, I wonder how much that is. And it turns out the answer is like wildly expensive. It's always just a weird surprise, isn't it? It's just like, oh gosh. Yeah, so that's a thing. Valdis Fox has done a super chat saying, hey Johnny, thought I'd share the love since I finally got my first job since moving abroad. Only took me 9 bloody months. Congratulations, Valdis Fox. That must feel amazing, especially after 9 months, which, I'm sure you were busy, you weren't idle, but that's got to be a welcome change after that long. So congratulations. I hope you have a lovely time. And Darth Monk has done a super chat, coming in thick and fast today, saying, tuning into a nice relaxing paint streamer after my first day at the new internship. Throwing some money at my favourite paint streamer to celebrate. Thank you very much, Darth Monk. I hope the internship went really well. In my time, I started out, I wasn't an intern, I was actually work experience at the place where I ended up getting my first job and getting into games journalism. But I've never done an actual structured internship before, but I've interacted with a bunch of interns, at GameSpot, like Lucy James was an intern when I was at GameSpot, and now look at her, she's practically, running the joint. And also again at Eurogamer, with people like Emma Kent and Vic Hood and Imogen Beckhelling starting out as interns as well. Like, I am in awe of interns, like unironically, like genuinely, because it's very easy when you do an internship to turn up, be sort of quiet and polite, and slip through the cracks, and not get as much out of it as you can. And I think those that really go in and are like, I'm driven and I want something from this, but I also want to to help you get something from this, are just incredible. Like, they're basically people that come in, like Emma Kent when she came into Eurogamer. It was like, oh wow, she is a fantastic writer, but she is also like filling a role that we didn't know we were really lacking. Like, she was such a perfect fit that it was like, well, we can't lose her. So she got hired at the end of the internship. It was that simple. But I would find it so scary to go in and be like, hi, I'm going to apply myself now, even though my role is amorphous, and at some points you're going to be wondering what I should do next. Whatever you're going to give me, I'm going to smash it. Which is great, obviously, if you're working in journalism. If you're working in a china shop, that's not a good attitude to have. But you know what I mean. Interns, they're great. God bless them, everyone. Although, in retrospect, I wish I hadn't done it. But like when I was at GameSpot, we had a couple of interns who were actually kind of snooty and kind of felt like we were there to sort of serve them almost. And like they'd be like, I don't want to do that, it's boring. You've got to give me something better. And they rubbed me up the wrong way. So for a couple of interns, I was like, I was like, if they're driven, if they introduce themselves to me, if they can summon up that courage, I will bend over backwards to help them. If not, they're on their own. I stopped after there was one time when there was an intern who was leaving, who genuinely seemed lovely. I realised all too late. But they were like, thank you so much for helping me. And I was like, I didn't help you. This is the first conversation we've had. I felt bad about that, actually. So, but, own your mistakes. I was a dickhole. Why am I getting WhatsApped? Huh? Are you already booked for Mario Kart? For what? Right. I'm pleased with this colour scheme. To be honest with you, I've painted almost this exact scheme before with the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, who are like Nagash's skeleton police in Age of Sigmar. So I knew it would work, but I'm really enjoying how it's coming together. Sorry, intriguing. I'll look at my calendar. Just streaming at the moment. Sorry about that. The nice switch says, and that intern, head of Nintendo now. Witchy Stella says, also my uncle. Very good. Gaming with Geezer says, just got here. I know there was talk about no stream today, so thank you, Johnny, for not letting the world bring you down and out. Oh, I was just worried I might be hungover, but thank you, Gaming with Geezers. Where's my water gone? I need some water. Martin Champion says, regular AOS player, Johnny? I haven't played in about 2 years, actually. Just haven't found the time. But yeah, I used to play quite regularly. I used to frequently field my Skaven army against my friend's Sylvaneth army and get the shit kicked out of me. I've never won a game of Age of Sigmar. I forced a draw once by killing Arcan the Black with a Hell Pit Abomination in the dying seconds of a game. It was great fun, though. I do want to get back to it, but at the minute, I'm just playing a lot of Blood Bowl. And before that, I was playing a lot of Warcry, which is great. Corio Malayam has done a super chat saying, I had a terrible Corio Malayam has done a super chat saying, I had a terrible internship experience, was supposed to work in the museum on an army base, but ended up getting made into a secretary. That's rubbish. When people misrepresent what you're doing and actually just do something different, that's rubbish. Ty C has done a super chat with just a wave emoji. I'm assuming that's a wave hello. Hi, Ty C. Thank you very much for the super chat and the charismatic wave. I'm going to change brushes. Vallejo paints don't taste of much, Ronnie. Vallejo pale flesh is chalky. A neutral taste, but unpleasant. Nom, 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 nom. Stephen Paul says, hi, Johnny. Doing the study break thing. Exam in 2 days. Oh, good luck, Stephen. Out of curiosity, did you ever find out what the balls and twisting were about last week? No. I didn't. I'd completely forgotten about that. Yeah. Martin Champion says, I'd love to do more Warcry, brackets Blood Bowl, not my thing. I spend most of my time trying to convert people to AOS only for them to beat me every game. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think it's a myth that people win games of Age of Sigmar. But, I mean, I've seen a lot of... no, I've been beaten several times. Abby Marie says, are the paints non-toxic? Let's hope so. Yes, they are. They're non-toxic water-based acrylics. Slightly worrying that I read the bottle after sampling it. But, you know. Witchy Stella says, so Johnny, who voice acts the vampire you're currently painting? That's a good question. I mean, this particular one does look quite Lestat from Interview with the Vampire, but also, I don't know. Oh, Mike was twisting everyone's balls. It was about the Mario Golf stream from Oxtra. That's right. Nordfjord says, did we ever find the Tetris cryptid? Been out of the loop for a bit? No, we didn't. Who does voice this vampire? What a good question. I'll have to think on that. Oh, I will say, though, Punga Miniatures, I didn't bother assembling and painting it because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. But they've basically made what they do in the Shadows model of the guy sort of with a big moustache who turns into a cat. They've made him, and then they've made him as a cat. It's very, very funny. So that's a thing. If you're into what we do in the Shadows, I've seen it once, and I've not seen the TV show, but it's a great film. It really is. Okay. So I'm just highlighting what we call the T-zone on this here vampire's face, so that the facial features stand out a bit more. Let's zoom in so I can show you. Oh, that's as zoomed in as it goes, is it? All right. There you go, like that. I'm very pleased with how this is coming together, actually. And then I might go for a tiny extra highlight in an even lighter shade. Don't know, we'll see. I'm quite pleased with this, actually. Should probably do something about those fangs. Jermaine Clement says Specky 4i. Yes, I believe so. Nathaniel Levy says non-toxic just means it won't really hurt you, not that it's safe to eat. So what you're saying here, Nathaniel, is that I just need to be brave and I'll be fine? Bob. Bob has done a super chat saying, if we are talking about bad work experience, first day of a new job, company cab driver totals the car with me and others in it. Walked away fine. Ouch. That's a rough first day. That is not good at all. There we go. Okay, I was going to paint the teeth, wasn't I? Yes, I was. All right. JW says, is this a Blood Bowl model? I don't recognise it. It's an unofficial one. It's by a third-party miniatures company called Punga. Games Workshop did briefly make the Vampire Lords team available for order, and they've sort of made to order, but I just don't like the models very much. And I just like these so much, I thought, sod it, why not? So I won't be fielding them at Warhammer World anytime soon, but okay, alright, that could have gone a little better. The fangs are kind of done. I might end up blobbing some wash in there. In fact, I will. I'll do a little pin wash of red wash in there. Try and make it more of a vampiric mousse. Stephen Paul says, I forgot about Josh, the Tetris cryptid. I blame all of the math I'm doing. Did they ever come forward? No. Josh disappeared into the woods like a Tetris Sasquatch. And the mystery it remains unsolved. Absolutely bananas. Right, I'm going to go back to the cloak and do a bit more on the cloak. Yasmin Worry says, gotta go, we'll be back later. All right, take care of yourself, Yasmin. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope whatever you're doing goes swimmingly. And skip that song. And skip that song. Right. I had a very good joke today. It's not pirate related, but I figured we'd get to that shortly. It's just, why shouldn't you brush your teeth with your left hand? Because a toothbrush is much more effective. I nearly said, why shouldn't you brush your teeth left-handed? But that wouldn't have worked. But yeah, enjoy that. So now we're going in with that lighter purple, just that lighter purple, to try and do some very small highlights on this coat. They're not standing out brilliantly, so I might actually end up mixing a little bit of cream in with this same purple and going back over it again. CookieCat94 has done a super chat saying, did an unpaid internship at a vet clinic. What stuck was one of the nurses telling me day one that if I can leave here covered in shit and still willingly come back with a smile, you can survive anything. Yeah, fair. Yep, okay. Aha, Nevermore says, damn it, that made me laugh. It's a good joke. I like it. What was it? Hetnikik says, I hate you, Johnny. You know what? Yeah. Fair enough on that one. Andy says, it was funny, but in a way that makes me regret my life choices leading me here. Yep, fair enough. Froglin says, oops, I stayed up till 2 a.m, but yay, stream. Hello, Froglin. I hope you're having a nice, well, early morning. I'm frankly amazed that the chat's not been flooded with pirate jokes. Shall I start us off? So a pirate walks into a bar with a peg leg, a hook for a hand, and an eye patch. Sits down at the bar. The guy next to him goes, wow, you've seen a life, hey? And he goes, aye, I've had many adventures. The man says, all right, well, how did you lose your leg? And he said, I was wreck diving off the Spanish Main when a shark come up from nowhere and took me leg. Man says, wow, that's incredible. And how about your hand? How come you have a hook for the hand? And he says, I was canoeing deep into the heart of the Amazon in search of a hidden temple when a crocodile out of nowhere comes up, bites me hand clean off. Man says, wow, gosh, you were lucky to get out alive. That's amazing. And tell me, what about your eye patch? He says, I was on the top deck one morning when a seagull shit in my eye. And the man says, oh, pardon me, but that doesn't sound too bad. The pirate goes, nah, first day with the hook. Hetnikik has done a super chat say, I had a friend that used to judge how good his puns were by how angry I got at him. Yep. CookieCat94 says, what do you call first aid on a pirate ship? CPR. What's a pirate's favourite letter? You'd think it's R, but truly, their heart is in the sea. Whew. Chaos says, pirate walks into a pub with a ship's wheel sticking out the top of his trousers. Barman asks, isn't that uncomfortable? Pirate says, aye, it's driving me nuts. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. Thank you, Clem, for that one. First day with the hook. Boo! Boo! Nathaniel Levy says, why is pirating so addictive? They say once you lose your first hand, you're hooked. Brian Shoner's done a super chat saying, Johnny, that reminds me, have you heard the one about the pig with a wooden leg? No. Interesting. Mancoy says, what's a pirate's favourite crime? You'd think it's piracy, but they prefer arson. Why did the pirate leave the pub? He needed some arr. Says West Coast Weaver. Nordfield says, you've obviously had your fair share of interactions with the great John Harper. Is there a collaboration on the horizon? Oh, goodness. I mean, that's the stuff of dreams, isn't it? But currently, no real plans. I'm quite pleased with this. I might leave this here. There are more bits I'd like to do to this, but currently I'm pretty thrilled with how that's come together. And I'll do a tiny bit on the boots, but then let's crack on and get an entirely new model on the go, shall we? Ginger Pickle McPickle says, what's green and tastes like blue paint? Green paint. I mean, I do like that joke. I've heard it before, but having sampled accidentally now quite a lot of different paints from the Citadel and Vallejo game colour range, I can tell you that green paint and blue paint don't necessarily taste alike. Mancoy says, why do pirates do so well at school? They always operate above sea level. Pirate's favourite element? Argon, says Clem. That was a good one. Do you know any good jokes about sodium? Nah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll do a bit of work on the boots. We're not made of wood. This thing's made of resin. There we go. What's big and brown and if it fell out of a tree it would kill you, asks Will. The answer is a pirate ship. A well-adapted classic there, Will. I appreciate the effort you went to with that. What's red, yellow, green, and invisible? No parrots. Another one from Will. Will's absolutely raking the deck with a broadside here. Too Cool for Cape says, the sodium joke made me laugh out loud in the middle of my office. Yes. Nordfjord says, enough one-liners, I beg you. Ooh. In my experience, that's not going to get them to stop, Nordfjord. Oh, amazing. Mancoy says, Johnny was a chemist child, but Johnny is no more. What Johnny thought was H2O was H2SO4. Sorry, Johnny, but it's always been your name I've heard in that rhyme. That's fine. Thankfully, I've never consumed H2SO4, as evidenced by the fact I'm here. Okie dokie. One final touch, which is I'm going to just blob a little bit of red shade in this vampire's mouth. And then I'm going to sit with that for a while, and maybe I'll go back and highlight it more later. But it's time we start painting some muscles. Hannah Axelson says, what do you call a bunch of cats aboard a pirate ship? A Meowtony. It's good, that one. I like that. A bunch of cats taking over a pirate ship? Way, Will says, I bought a Sig water bottle on your recommendation, by the way, and it's great. They are amazing. They're proper workhorses. I lost it in the end, but mine had a series of dents, and I could tell you the story about each one. About how I got the dent. Come on. Where's me flash shade? Reichland flash shade. Reichland flash shade. I'm in a worryingly good mood for someone who didn't get loads of sleep last night. Savros Darkmoor says, the bartender says we don't serve faster than light particles in here. 2 tachyons walk into a bar. Good. Cheerful Spider has done a super chat saying, I submitted 10 puns to the pun contest and really hoped one would win, but no pun intended. Froglin says, what's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but Abu Dhabi do. Honestly. CookieCat94 says, were they on accident? The dents in my Sig? Yeah, one of them was from when a truck nearly crushed me at some traffic lights. That was fun. When I was cycling. Don't know why that made it less worrying, but... Great, okay. You can't see it from where you are, but I've put some flash shade in the vampire's mouth. We're going to call that one done for now, and we're going to move on to... The Ghost of Laura Palmer says, I am late. Have we talked about how I don't want to hear the term succaneer ever again? Sorry about it, the Ghost of Laura Palmer, but it's the unofficial name of my vampire team. Because they've never won in 300 years and people are tired of supporting them, so they call them the Succaneers. It's just what they're called. I don't make the rules, I do. But I like that rule, so I'm sticking to it. Okay, that's a 3. That's a 5. Where's a number 2 brush? There's a number 2 brush. Is that a bit big? Yes, let's go for that. Brian Schoen is telling the joke. Traveling salesman is visiting a farmer and asks about one of his pigs, which has a wooden leg. Oh, that's an amazing pig, the farmer says. One day, my tractor rolled over and pinned me under it, and I'll be damned if that pig didn't run over and dig a ditch under me and pull me out. That's amazing, but what about the wooden leg? Another time, my house caught fire in the middle of the night, and that pig banged on the door and squealed at the windows until we woke up and were able to get out and put out the fire. Incredible. But why does he have a wooden leg? Well, the farmer says, a pig like that you don't eat all at once, eh? Oh, no. Good joke, though. Lovely pigs. Love pigs. Scott Perkins asks, what type of ghost haunts a science lab? Methylated spirits. Very good. I need some more water. My throat's getting... Oh, it's all the pirate jokes. My throat's getting a bit ruined. What do you call a wolf that meditates? A werewolf. Nice one, Emma Benton. What? Chaos says, fun facts. Fun fact. When ships of the Swedish Navy return to their home port, the crew has to stand at attention along the port-facing side of the ship, wearing special uniforms that are either black or white. By doing this, they form a massive barcode which allows an officer on the dock equipped with a special laser to Scandinavian! Fuck! That was hook, line, and sinker. You absolutely got me there. Fucking hell. Chaos. You really did me with that. You really did. Oh, that hurts. That hurt, that did. Fucking hell. Bob says, got him. Oh. Alex Simpkin says, why do the new Navy ships have glass bottoms? To see the old Navy ships. Lovely. Ow. Oh. They were so invested, says Mark Kerwan. Yeah. I really was invested in that. Cruel. Cruel chaos. Oh. My feelings. Oh well. Let's paint more pirates who are also vampires. This is technically a thrall, so I think they're meant to be human. But with this team, it's basically he is actually a vampire, but secretly he has to pretend to be human because he plays as a thrall. No one said it had to make sense. Yep. Let's reset the focus, shall we? There we go. I'll keep my hands there. Yeah, that works. Oh. Chaos says, and now you're going to tell that to someone else with a completely straight face. So, I'd heard Scandinavian before, but never with that, frankly, very, very believable punchline. Not very punchline, very, like, bizarre but believable setup. That's a whole other level. Jax has done a super chat saying, something Johnny Ciardini. That's all I've got. It's pretty good. William Black says, Johnny dropped the F-bomb and now I owe my partner $5. Thanks, Johnny. Sorry. Cheerful Spider says, let's do that thing while we repair Johnny with gold grout. Oh, Will says, what's with the massive bass? I'll show you. These are temporary bases because for the actual bases for this team, I broke out the green stuff and the green stuff roller and I made temple bases, but I'm going to paint these all up individually and then just stick the team on top so I don't have to paint carefully around them. So for the time being, all of these pirates are on like placeholder bases like this slotted one. They're all blue tacked on. So yeah. Oh. Burrito says, not a huge fan of pun jokes first thing in the morning, but if it gets you to curse within the first hour, anything goes. Was that really my first F-bomb? Oh, wow. Wow. It was a big one anyway. At least it wasn't a C-bomb, eh? C-bomb, hey? Woo! Nautical, map. Very good. Well done. Have a cookie, Johnny. As you can see, this guy now has a flesh-coloured beard. And he says, there's this one that I tell that I usually take about 10 minutes for that ends really terribly, and I wish it were easier to tell in a text format. Bloody hell. A guy I grew up with used to tell really, really long jokes that went to nowhere. And, like, I love a non-joke. Like, they to me are the funniest thing in the world. But when the joke is, I took up loads of your time and you trusted me, I don't love them. Like, there's one joke he used to tell that took forever about a little green man burning down a church and does it repeatedly, and the priest can't catch, or the vicar can't catch the perpetrator, but keeps training and every week gets closer and closer until eventually they catch the guy and say, are you the little green man who's been burning down my church every week? And the little green man says, no. And that's the joke. Ooh. Will is doing a joke. I might read all of it before I read it out, because I've been burnt before today on this stream by Chaos, who I know is an actual, like, IRL friend of Will's. So now my guard is up. Jack Wood says, "Oh God, the little green man joke." I'm glad I'm not the only one who was traumatized by that. There was also a joke about that ended in a brick flying off into nowhere, and it made no sense and it wasn't funny. And then another joke that took ages culminated in the protagonist getting killed by a falling brick out of nowhere, and that was a lot. Will says, "I would recommend not reading all of the Red and White Knight joke." All right, thank you, Will. Maybe you'll tell it to me sometime over a beer. Painting flesh. Painting flesh. When you put it like that, it sounds quite bad. Do. Right. That's that bit done. That's it. Saving Santa says we call those shaggy dog stories. That's right. Bastards. Not the shaggy dogs. It's not their fault, I don't think. But so with this lot, I kind of want their main team colour to be purple. Like, that's the main identifier, hence the cape on that person. But all of these sculpts are different. And, I mean, this guy doesn't even have a shirt, let alone a cape. So I think I might give him purple trousers. I thought about giving him purple gloves. But the thing is, there's so much opportunity to paint lovely, leathery tones on this lot that I kind of want to stick with that. So, yeah, I'll do purple. I'll do purple trousers. Wayhan Lim says, and we thought last week's deluge of lemon stickers was bad. Oh God, Will says more than one beer, mate. Is it? It's one of those jokes, is it? Ooh, purple tattoos. That's nice. Cookie Cat 94 says, what do a duck and a bicycle have in common? They both have handlebars, except for the duck. Fuck. Ooh, purple beard, purple hat. I'm going to do purple trousers on this one. Right. Again, just trying to adjust the focus so you can actually see what I'm up to. There we go. It's just gone 5 o'clock. Interesting. Maybe purple belt and stripes down the trouser legs. Oh, you overestimate my painting ability. I cannot freehand stripes for the life of me, I'm afraid, Brask. What's the difference between a horse's ass and a letterbox? I don't know. What is the difference between a horse's ass and a letterbox? I'm not sending you to post a letter then. Very good. Nick Jeffrey's done a super chat saying, "Hey Johnny, did I miss swears? Boo." Anyway, I think your vampires look cool. I'd make a film about vampire pirates. It would be rated R. Very good. For you to come in at this hour and actually have a pirate joke that's not already been told is quite impressive, Nick. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. Talking about putting things in the post, I do owe one last postal treat to last month's Champion Tiers. It's going out this week. I'm sorry for the delay, just in case anyone's been wondering where that is. Brian Shiner says, "Why is a squirrel like a cigarette? Both are perfectly harmless until you stick one end in your mouth and light it." Very good. Although eating cigarettes is a really good, well, not a good way to die, but it'll kill you. Like, nicotine is acutely poisonous. It's just that smoking tobacco, you don't get it in such a concentrated dose as to be lethal. But you eat a couple of cigarettes, and you'll be very, very, very ill. But on the bright side, eat a couple of cigarettes, and you may never have to eat anything else for the rest of your life. So, ho ho ho. Any news on the PO box yet? No Valdez Fox, but soon. Random L says, "Heading off now. Your lovely face and voice was perfect company while I finish work. Love you all. Take care, Random L. Have a lovely rest of the day." What's for dinner? It's a weird thing to ask somebody as they are literally just said they're leaving. Purple, purple, purple. Painting lots of purple. Axley says, how does a paladin protect against the heat of a firebolt? He turns off his AC. Very good. I had a dream last night that I was playing as a paladin, actually. Was I LARPing in my dream last night? That's worrying. Can't really remember the dream, but I know that I was a paladin and that I realised halfway through that I wasn't being a very good paladin. Dr. Mobius has done a super chat saying, hey Johnny, wanted to super chat with a bit of my first paycheck. I got the job after using painting minis during the interview as an example of patience and improvisation skills. Dr. Mobius, that's amazing. Congratulations. More power to you. Like, being able to bring up the hobby and being like, and this is why I'm boss is fantastic. Great work. Thank you very much for quite literally sharing the wealth. Right. Purple trousers. Now we do. This one's going to be a doddle to paint. The rest of this is all leather, and I love painting leather and skin and purple. What a treat! It's almost like I designed this to be deliberately quite a fun and easy one to paint. Why does my phone keep going off? It's quite annoying. Just going to make sure there's no emergency to which I have to respond. Okay, no crisis. The Geek in the North says, hobby is great for that. I've definitely used it for patience and attention to detail. Very smart. I haven't had to interview for a job since I started painting, actually. But I shouldn't really admit that I gave myself this job without interviewing me. That's nepotism, isn't it? But, yeah. God, that'd be embarrassing, setting up my own Patreon and then losing out in the final interview to somebody else. Peter Spy says, hi Johnny, your playthrough of Control made me revisit and actually finish the game. Thanks. Question, what's your camera of choice for streaming? So this is one of those Logitech 1080p cameras. I can't remember what it's called. But the close-up cam is a Sony. I'm using a Elgato Cam Link to hook it up to my computer. It's one of the Sony Alpha ones with interchangeable lenses. This lens is that's just the kit lens from the Sony, but this is the lens I use for most things, which is a Sigma. It is a fixed 16mm Sigma lens, and it is gorgeous. I bloody love it. So there we go. Sorry that I don't have the actual product names or numbers. I'm terrible at remembering those. Cheerful Spider says, in fairness, do you even know any other Johnny Chiadinis who could have interviewed? There's John Chiadini, the retired professional guitarist from America. I'm sure I could have got hold of him if I really tried. These minis are fun to paint. Deedly-dee-dee-dee-dee. Jack Wood says, oh damn, Sigma lenses, they fancy. Yeah, I decided it was worth just splashing on a really good lens that I'd used for ages, and it's paid off. Mancoy says, Age of Sigma lens? Fenris Aconite says, work calls. Have a great day, everyone. Take care, Fenris. Have a lovely day at work. I hope it goes swiftly and smoothly. I'm going to get the Dryad bark out. It's a good base brown, this. It's just sort of a nice sort of chocolatey brown. Is it chocolatey? No. It's almost ashy, but I like it a lot. Because you layer up Mornfang Brown or Beastly Brown from Vallejo over the top, and it just looks really rich and leathery. Okay. Well, it's nice to be painting these. I told myself I wasn't going to start these until I finished my goblin team, but A, I'm nearly done with that, and B, I painted goblins last week, and I thought, I don't want to just paint the exact same thing 2 weeks running, so I decided to treat myself with some succaneers. And now here we are. And they're just good sculpts. It's funny, like when I first started painting, I was like, well, I'm going to get this model for my army and this model for my army, and like, you know, I would look at other models and be like, they're cool, but I've got no use for it, so I'll never buy and paint it. Now, like, I really want to get the big folded lizard old guy from the Seraphim range. I really want to get Mangler Squigs and just paint them up because like they're bloody lovely. I really like the models. I've got some what do you call it? Call to Arms, the Skyrim miniatures game from Modifius. I'd quite like to paint those up someday. Although I tried to assemble them, and they were a bit of a pain in the ass to put together, so I stopped, which may explain a thing or two. But still, painting. It turns out it's really fun. I thought I was going to hate this bit, but I prefer it to the actual wargaming part of the hobby. Ooh. Roswell Walton's done a super chat saying, used to walk through Jesmond Dean in the early hours. One night, a very large bearded guy came out of the bushes with a large bearded axe, saw me, and asked if I'd seen someone with a large sword pass. My introduction to LARPing. Holy shit. I mean, at least LARP weapons do look quite fake, but is it against the rules of LARPing to ask somebody who's not in the LARP whether they've seen somebody they're trying to find? Genuine question. Ronnie says, I heard Mangler Squigs. They're such a cool sculpt and actually not too hard to assemble. Oh, well. I think I'm going to paint some at some point. Probably as a treat once I've got my to paint pile down to like an acceptable level. Emma Benton says, actually, you know what? Succaneers makes me think of Buccaneers wearing seersucker, which would definitely be a look. Seersucker. Oh. Yes, it would. I'm not painting that. Those are some tiny stripes. Imagine it depends on the game, but probably not against the rules. Moddy Do says, wait, you can play games with the minis? I know. Mostly the game is, where am I going to store this miniature? I'm not going to lie, but yeah. Well, Whale Puck says, hi everyone. Hi, Whale Puck. I hope you're whale. I think the heat's getting to me in here. Just picking out some of the leather details, like a little purse that this pirate has on their belt. Picking out the belt itself. I can always tell when I'm working on something where I have to be neat, because I just stop blathering. Zayon123 says, I'm actually painting that old guy from the Seraphim right now. Lucky. It's a gorgeous model. It's really wonderful. Okay, starting to do the sort of thing over the back. Roswell Walton says the people who I know in the Newcastle area tend to go drinking in full orc gear, weapons and all, so I don't think they really follow the rules. That is incredible. They had some Urukai LARPers once at cosplayers, I guess, at EGX once. That was weird because I had helped moderate a panel. Well, I introduced really a panel on Mordor: Shadow of War, and at the end they were like, "It would be great if the Urukai could invade the stage," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'll tell you what. How about I'll start wrapping things up, and when I say this, you all come on stage." And they were like, just nodding mutely. And then they got to that bit, and they all stood up and just started really slowly filing to the stage, like clunk, 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 clunk. And it was like the PR who asked me if they could invade the stage was like, like they'll rush the stage, and you'll be like, whoa. It took them about 45 seconds to get up there, and I was like, okay. And then they just sort of stood there menacing me, and I was like, okay, thanks everyone. It's pretty funny. I think it's still online. As they were coming up, I think I just went Urukai, and I said, "This is orcs." So there we go. Jack Wood says, "Shadow of War, more like Shadow of Shite." Yes, agreed. That game was bad. Nathan W says, "Just got here. Accidentally read the title as paint eating, so I have high expectations." Nathan, I've actually eaten paint on this very stream. Mostly by accident, and then once just out of curiosity. And we're not even 2 hours in yet. That one with the beard says, "Goodbye, everyone. Heading out. Hope you'll have a lovely evening. Thank you for the lovely chat, especially the dad jokes. And that you, Johnny, as always, for a lovely live stream. Good night, all. Take care, the one with the beard." Stephen Paul says, "Apparently they fixed all the loot box issues." Oh, it wasn't the loot box that was the problem. The story was so bad, it put me off the rest of the game. I played that game. I reviewed it for Eurogamer, and while playing it, I was like, they've the Nemesis system is still great, and I love how they've sort of gone bigger with it. So you got all these regions, and then by the end of the game, I hated it. I was planning to do an entire Let's Play on the Eurogamer channel, and I cancelled it because I hated it so much, which was a shame. But hey ho. I just don't think Shelob needed to be made into a sexy woman. She's a spider. She's daughter of Ungoliant. Like, she's always been a spider and is very, very evil. Why does she have to be sexy? Oh, they've revised the whole leveling structure. Okay. To be honest, that's very much a post-game issue, isn't it? When you're trying to continue sort of running Mordor, and by that point, I was so sick of the game. I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm done. Alas. Especially since the Nemesis system has been patented, so no one else can use it. It's like, but what if they make something with a not shit story? Witchy Stella says, "Shelob has always been a sexy woman." Is this a spider sex thing? Are you yanking my chain? Come on. That'll do. Shadow of Mordor was originally a Batman game? Was it? Kobe Morris says, "But Johnny, what if Tolkien wanted her to be a giant sexy lady?" Well, I imagine Tolkien would have made her a giant sexy lady. But he bloody didn't, did he? I certainly went quite Welsh there. Cheerful Spider says, sorry, what? You rang? Very good. I tell you what really blew my mind is in The Hobbit when Tolkien just casually mentions that A, golf exists in Middle-earth, and B, that a hobbit invented it. I think one of the Tooks invented golf. Just throwaway line. And you're like, what? Jolkin, Rolkin, Rolkin, Tolkien, you come back here right now and explain. And he's like, no, talk about dragon now. Bizarre. Will says, I cannot imagine anything less hobbity than golf. I know, right? If hobbits played any sport, it'd probably be like lawn bowls. Bull roar a took, yes. Thank you, Mankoi. Wow, Shamari Wallace says, I knew I always hated hobbits for a reason. Gosh. Bob says golf is a hobbit sport. I don't think golf is a hobbity sport, you know? That was it. A really big one punted an orc's head down a rabbit hole. Bull roarer took. CookieCat94 says, if a hobbit made golf, is all golf mini golf in that world? Witchy Stella says, I believe if hobbits played a sport, it would be chess, no? Maybe. Cricket feels more of a hobbit sport than... Although there's a lot of running in that. I don't know. Like, I think pub games like Shove Halfpenny, that's a sort of hobbit thing. Will says, hobbits, well into chess boxing. There you go. Kobe Morris says, hobbits don't strike me as the sporty type beyond maybe some bar sports. There you go. Hobbits are the sort of people who would play crokinole, says Josh Warriad. Why do I feel called out all of a sudden? God, I haven't got the crokinole out in ages, actually. It's fucking great. Jack Wood said, I had hobbits down as a darts kind of people. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, darts, big time. Bilbo would have, like, a set of darts with the fletchings made from eagle feathers. Tries not to boast about them. Reckon Aragorn would be good at darts. Legolas would be banned from playing because he's an elf. And is accurate and has good eyesight is where I was going with that. Sorry, I realised it's just like, should be Banks, he's a fucking elf. Ooh. Hobbit Krav Maga, says Chaos. Hobbit MMA. Emma Benton says, I just want to be a hobbit. Sounds like a great experience. No, existence. Yeah. Just sort of like having lots of little meal times. Like, because of... I tend to get quite grumpy when I'm hungry. So, like, I've always been a little and often kind of person. Witchy Stella says, now I don't usually repeat my jokes if they don't hit their mark, but ring toss. Yep. Oh, Kobe Morris. Boromir would probably not like darts very much. Vaishnavi M says, hobbits have intense rock'em sock'em robot competitions. Change my mind. Ooh, too cool for Cape says, maybe horseshoes or beanbag toss / cornhole. Yes, cornhole's a fucking great one. Bloody love that game. Oh, raining, is it? Great. Might open the window, actually, get some of that cold air in. You can probably hear that. Okay, it's 5:30, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a 2-minute break so I can A, open the window and hopefully get some cold air in here, and B, I'm going to grab a beer from the fridge, because why not? Why not? Hey? So I will put this on the Be Right Back screen, so enjoy some smooth music and a picture of my dog Watson, and we'll be back in like 2 minutes. So yeah, do what you need to do. I'll see you back here very shortly. Hi! Welcome back, everyone, to painting some pirates who are also vampires. Or are they vampires who are also pirates? They're vampires who are also pirates. But, yeah. Oh, I didn't open the fucking window. Give me one sec. Silly. Yes. Oh, it's absolutely pissing it down. It is like the rain you put in your headphones when you can't sleep. Still talking about Hobbit sports. Excellent. God, I haven't played Crokinole in so long. I'll invite the neighbours over for some Crokinole. It's weird, I've never got to know my neighbours before, but I've sort of met everyone on the floor of this building and they're bloody lovely, so more of that, I think. Alex Simpkins says second F-bomb. I swear I've been dropping F-bombs all stream. But there we go. We're not in Dicebreaker anymore, Toto. Right. Now I need to paint the beard on this pirate. Come on. I go for a sort of greyish. JW says hobbits would play horseshoes. No, I think that feels very much like it. Just langing ponies' shoes around. Let's see. Let's see. What we want for this. Storm vermin fur? Yeah, why not? Nathan W says, the idea of filling headphones with rain is hilarious, but I assume you mean sounds. I said what I said, Nathan. Yes, I did mean that. Whoops. Okay. Here we go. Nathan W says, I believe dwarves could make amazing mini golf. Oh yeah, like carving properly great courses into the side of a mountain. Bloody love that. Paint your beard. All right. One beard. There we go. Getting WhatsApped again. Oh no. JW says, heading off to make dinner now. Thank you for this chill stream, all. You're more than welcome. Thank you for joining in. I hope dinner is delicious. Right, what's next? Tiny bit more grey on this beard, actually. And then I think what we ought to do, layer up the skin with another flesh tone, and then layer up the leather with another brown, and then I think we'll be ready to shade and start layering up the purple cloth. They're just lovely sculpts, they really are. I can't remember the last time I did Crazy Golf. That was like a very, very long time ago. Might have been one of the Crazy Golf places in Brighton for a friend's stag do. Which, you know, is what it is. Wasn't very good Crazy Golf, if I'm perfectly honest with you, but I think there's a dinosaur mini golf somewhere in North London. I don't know why I say I think there is. There is, I've been. It's got animatronic dinosaurs, like Dinosaur Adventure Golf. It's pretty wild. Arian says, what sculpts are these? These are from Punga Miniatures. They are vampire pirates, buccaneers, whatever you want to call them. And they're bloody lovely. And at the minute, I'm just layering up this leather to kind of work with the natural... Trying to work with the natural sort of curvature of the mini. Sai Colot says, afternoon, Johnny, long-time fan. Apologies if I missed the start of the stream. Are those the Blood Bowl minis? These are not official Games Workshop Blood Bowl minis. These are made by a third party called Punga, but I think they're bloody cracking. I'm going to run them as a vampire team because there are very much vampire characters in this team. And more importantly, never apologise for missing the start of the stream. Like, you got your own life to lead. It's fine. The day I start berating people for not turning up on time to a thing that they can choose to watch or not for free on the internet is the day I should just jack it in and nobody should watch anymore. So says I. Still absolutely reeling from, like, learning that some streamers expect apologies from people who are late. It's like, what the like, who do you think you are? It's like, oh, if you're not here from the start, you're not worth as much. That's bullshit. It's horrible. Children, rubbish, crap. So there. Oh, EA122 says, Dinosaur Mini Golf, can we call the course Jurassic Par? Very nice. Reminds me, I haven't actually played Mario Golf in a little while. Didn't take my Switch with me when I went away for a week. I know that Outside Xbox, well, Extra, streamed a golf tournament on Thursday of last week. But the problem with being a one-person team is the tournaments are a bit one-sided. Leaf May says, streamers do that? That sounds like hell to watch. I know, right? Like, the ego on some people. Shouldn't surprise me after this long sort of doing what I do, but here we are, it does. Jack Wood says, I'm going to have to bounce. My eyes are starting to give me a lot of jibs, so I need to sit down in a dark room and not look at anything. Take care of yourself, Jack. I hope your eyes recover very soon. Thank you, as ever, for being such a lovely presence in the chat. You are one of the very, very good ones. So yeah, feel better soon. Right, sort of the leather, kind of quite clumsily layered up, but the idea is that I'm going to shade this and go back in with that same brown and work on it more. Focus is driving me slightly scatty today. A bit more beastly brown. That's not beastly brown. That's beastly brown. Ew, Will says, oh yeah, the streamer who complained that people weren't subbing. That was creepy. Is that the one who was like, it's the next best thing to an actual physical relationship when she was streaming to, like, kids? Ugh. Anyway, yeah. Nah, people who yell at people for not subbing, it's like, I don't get it. It's like I used to go to, used to have a karate instructor who, if attendance was low, would yell at us for ages. And it's like, you're yelling at the people who are here about how important it is to turn up. Like, we've turned up. If you're that fussed about it, email the ones who aren't here. Like, what do you want from me? Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, there's a belt buckle, well, a couple of belt buckles actually on this little pirate thrall. So I think I'm going to paint them. And what with the purple and the brown, it kind of feels like a coppery or brassy colour is the best bet. I don't tend to like painting with those colours, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't like the way they behave on the brush, and it's rare that I like how they look, but I kind of can't resist with this one. It just feels like the absolute correct thing. So I'll give it a bash anyway. Also going to try and just keep my left elbow planted, because as long as I keep my elbow planted here, then I know that my hands will return to a good position for the focus. Fingers crossed, anyway. What we got here with this? Brass. Great. Thanks, Vallejo. Adam Burrows says, hello from Phoenix. I just woke up and I'm saying hi. Hi, Adam Burrows. I hope that Phoenix is treating you well. Never been to Arizona, but I hope it's nice. Right. Brass. Eldridge Horror says, hi Johnny, just wondering, do you always use the Citadel paints on your models? No. I've actually started switching over to Vallejo Game Color because I've just got sick of the lids on the Citadel paint pots. They gum up, they don't close, and they dry out. At least that's what I've experienced. And it bothers me. So I'm still buying shades and technical paints from Citadel. But what's the what are you doing? Still buying shades and technical paints from Citadel, but when it comes to just straight colours, every time a Citadel paint runs out now, I just buy it in Vallejo. We've got a couple of super chats. Trezen has done a super chat say, evening Skelly's chill painting stream is exactly what the proverbial doctor ordered today. Thank you very much, Trezen. Welcome aboard. Thank you for the super chat. Stephen Paul says, of all the Twitch streamers I support... Sorry. Stephen Paul's super chat reads, all of the Twitch streamers I support are super positive and trans-friendly, of course, and have healthy communities on Discord. Johnny was the first I supported, and then I knew exactly what I wanted. Stephen, that's really lovely. Thank you. Oh, no. One sec. Sorry about that. My wife just got in from walking the dog and is drenched. Absolutely drenched. So I just wanted to make sure they were all right. I'm just picking out these brass details. Yeah, this works. Brass was the right colour. Can't really see it. This not really showing up very well. But that's fine. It's just a base coat. I can always do another layer. Wow. Hafez Ali says, hi Johnny, hi everyone, watching the chill stream while working on my master's application in physics. Please wish me good luck. Best of luck. That sounds like quite the undertaking, especially as someone who isn't scientifically minded. A master's in physics sounds like some serious stuff. So hats off to you for going for it, and I hope it goes very, very well. Oh no. The nice switch says, yeah, it's fully pissing down here too. I just nipped to the shots and now I'm like a sad, sad drowned rat. Oh no. I'm sure you don't look like a rat. You might look sad and drowned, but... Brass, brass, brass. Painting bits of brass. There's another buckle. What is it with pirates and buckles? They seem to bloody love them. If anyone can answer that one, especially if they can work in a pun, that'd be great. Thanks very much. Need that on my desk by Friday. Okay. Alright, that belt buckle now looks a lot more brassy, but unfortunately I've gone over some of the leather, so I need to go back in. But at least the colour is coming through now, so that's good. Rats are cool, and rats are cute. Tuva Hovland and the Nice Witch, you are correct. I bloody love them. They don't live very long, so unfortunately, we're not going to get them as pets. My wife used to keep rats, but they die so young, and they're so charismatic that it really hurts when they go. So we have a no more pet rats policy, which is a shame, but understandable. Also, I think if we had 2 cats and a dog and a rat, we're just getting into like weird cautionary tale territory, aren't we? Like, I don't want to have to start swallowing them all because I've also ingested a bug, you know? It's just like, I just can't be bothered, so. Right. You know, I said how anytime a colour runs out, I buy it in Vallejo. My one exception is this part of Kislev flesh. Because I bought pale flesh from Vallejo, and it's just ever so slightly too light. Whereas Kislev flesh is a really lovely tone. I should do what one of my friends does. Whenever he buys a Sistel paint, he just transfers it into a dropper bottle. It's a good idea. Okay. Now we very carefully start to layer up this flesh. Cheerful Spider says you have a dog, a rat, a cat, a sack of grain, and a boat. Oh, that bloody puzzle. I remember doing it at school and being like, and then I remember playing the first Professor Layton on Nintendo DS like years and years ago, and being like, no, it's back to haunt me, and I was bad at it. Okay, here we go. Layer up some muscles. Start with the really big ones. Just avoid the folds and creases, or the recessed areas, as Duncan Rhodes would put it. Praise him, 2 thin coats. Hopefully you can see, there we go, around the shoulders. I've just started to layer that up. It doesn't look great right now, but we are just base layering, so. Oh, is that hair poking out the bottom? Okay, we'll sort that later. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, it's coming on all right. So far, opening that window to the rain has not brought the temperature or the humidity down in here. If anything, it has made it more muggy. I hate summer so much. I really, really do. I'm happy for all my friends who love it, but I have a dreadful time. But it's fine. I always end up a sweaty mess after a painting stream anyway. Just wearing this extra layer. It's quite a thick sort of canvas apron. Don't know why I'm talking about this now, really. I just realised something. In the neck of this chap, I was like, oh, that's a bit of bad casting on this mini. There's like a divot in his neck. That's because they're bite marks. See? Just in here. Been bit by a vampire. That's a thrall, alright. I'm enthralled about that. God, these miniatures are fun. Blah, 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 blah. Angel Beat sounding not unlike a Far Cry 3 NPC there. Okay. This chap really is very muscly. It's like painting the segments on an orange. Look at him. The Night Switch says, damn, he's ripped. Thank you, The Night Switch, but my pronouns are they, them, actually? Gotcha. No, yeah, this pirate is absolutely ripped, isn't he? Can't wait to paint those dinner plate pecs. Oh god, he's got abs for days, actually. This is some tiny detail I was not expecting. Yes, this mini's so much fun. Used to be absolutely terrified of painting skin. Just felt like I was always messing it up, but I find it really relaxing now just to really work on the layers and follow the contours of the model. This guy really is ripped, isn't he? Look at him there. Straining. Just sort of gurning, just standing there. Like, I'm gonna bust a lung just trying to menace people. Aiden Folk says, if you gave the abs a wash, would they be washboard abs? Very good. So, how about that Kill Team trailer, eh? By my understanding, Kill Team's going to become more like Warcry, for those in the know? Question mark? Never tried Kill Team, but I do like Warcry, so that's kind of intriguing. Lil Pirate. Come on. That's what it's looking like so far. Very pleased with how this is looking, actually, so since I haven't shaded it yet. The Nice Switch says, would hate to be that tanked and have such a small butt. What would the point be? You know what? I hadn't considered that, but you're absolutely right. There's nothing there. It's just a shelf. Not a shelf. It's a straight drop. Poor bugger. Maybe that's why he looks so livid. Arr, I have no butt. Who's here been saying I missed butt day? God, you'd be livid, actually. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to hit the gym this much and not have a dump truck ass by the end of it, what's it all for? Nothing. Rudy Gerber says, how does Blood Bowl deal with vampires? Can they die? They can. I think they can possibly... I haven't actually read into the rules yet of vampires specifically, but like certain like characters, I guess, or players in Blood Bowl have like regeneration, or like can be brought back by a necromancer, etc., etc. So death doesn't have to be the last word, but yeah, no, they can absolutely die. The Nice Switch says, ha ha ha, the booty joke's coming in, I'm so pleased. Yep, yep, yep. Keep them coming. Always up for a booty joke. All right, you scurvy dog. Might be time to shade you, actually. Very pleased with this. Benton says, that's my entire goal with working out, having a great ass. I mean, let me tell you, Ring Fit Adventure, my goodness. I've not actually gone back to it for months and months now. I keep meaning to, so it's really great cardio, and I bloody love it. I think it's a really fucking great game, but... it likes making you do squats. I did it, like, every day for about 3 weeks, and then I actually overdid it and had to stop. But by the end of those 3 weeks, I'd lost weight, or rather, I sort of tightened up my core muscles, so I was sort of, holding myself in a bit more. I guess I was just sort of slimmer. But I was having to jump to put my jeans on, and it was like, hang on a minute, like, what? Where's this come from? Like, it wasn't actually that... wasn't actually, I wasn't going for that, but when it arrived anyway, it was a lovely surprise. It's all right, Scout. This one. Hi. Hey, come here. Nope, cat's not interested. Cat sort of wanted to say hi, but not really. Where have I put my shade brush? This is annoying. Witchy Stella says, "Yar, Captain. I'm trying to sneak around, but I be dummy thick, and the clap of me arse cheeks keep alerting the Royal Navy." Right, a different brush. If I can't find my normal shade brush, we'll just crack on. Will this do? Yes, this will do. Not My Name says, dang, my desire to talk about Kill Team V2 has been overshadowed by butts. It is a lost cause now. Butts are great, like, what can I say? Emma Benton says, oh my god, yes, so many squats in Ring Fit. It's preposterous, because there are also different types of squats. At one point I had 3 different squats in my repertoire, like, equipped on the game, and in an hour-long workout I did like 106 squats. It's just like, what? Angel Beat says, ASMR. Very good, Angel Beat. Alright, here we go. Reichland Flash Shade. Come on down. Oofed. Stephanie M says, I have the Ring Fit and the amount of squats is no joke, but what killed me with a climber exercise. Yeah, the mountain climbers in that game, I couldn't do that. I took them out of my exercise rotation immediately because, I mean, A, it's a horrible exercise, but also it just wasn't registering when I was doing it. And so I ended up doing it, doing like twice as many mountain climbers as I needed to in order to get it to register just one set. And I was like, I'm not built for this. Ditto planking, actually. It didn't know when I had my bum up and when I didn't. And it was just awkward. Right, so that's some flesh shade down on that pirate there. And it should just bring out the details a bit more. Obviously, it's quite damp at the minute. It's like, well, it's literally wet, so it's going to take a while for it to settle and dry. But hopefully it'll make quite a difference. Loki Akai has done a super chat saying, every beer garden needs sweet smelling, blossoming goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much, Loki Akai. You know what? Today I was looking into starting to grow basil. Because I bought some fresh basil from the supermarket and made a pesto. And it was amazing. So I am actually going to start growing herbs in this flat. Although, unfortunately, we have to find a way to make them cat-proof. Because I used to have a lovely chili plant and then one of the cats ate it. So... Nick Jeffrey has done a super chat saying, a little extra dosh for Vile Dunnican yesterday. Thank you very much. It was great fun bringing Dunnican back to the Ox Venture. I won't say anything else in case some people are behind and haven't caught up. But yes, Vile Dunnican. Good times had by all. Okay. Oh, I like painting miniatures. I really do. Specky4i says basil should be illegal. No qualification for that, just no explanation, just basil should be illegal. Which I kind of respect that. You know, if you're just coming out swinging saying basil should be illegal, fair play, yeah. You've half convinced me, frankly. Witchy Stella says just put catnip away from some of the other herbs. That's a good idea, actually. We used to have cat grass, and then I just got so sick of picking up cat grass vomit. Abby Marie says, you say herb garden, the cats say snack bar. Yeah. Eleanor says, good evening all, how was the day? Hi, Eleanor. Eleanor, sorry. The day was good, thanks. Just been just doing some painting some vampires who are also pirates. That's about all I've done with my day, it feels like. Which is quite pleasant. Nice to take it slow every now and then. Oh yeah, Phil Connolly says using wild garlic instead of basil makes an amazing pesto. It really does. Unfortunately, wild garlic season around here is over. But next year I'll be back. Also, three-cornered leeks. Oh, they're great. They're a weed, and it's actually illegal to propagate them and to grow them in the UK because they're so invasive. But they're bloody everywhere near us. And we picked a bunch of the flowers and pickled them, but like the leaves and the stems have a real pickled onion, not pickled onion, spring onion quality to them. And I made a sort of a garlicky, oniony pesto with them, and it was fantastic. Crazy Melody says, right, just put my character sheet for the one-shot in my D&D group chat. Everyone else's character is looking amazing, and fittingly, it's going to be pirate-themed. Hey, hey. Rudy Gerber says, okay, folks, got to run. Supper's not going to make itself. Have a good one. Thank you so much for tuning in, as ever. And, yeah, hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Right. So, that's the shading done. I've used a sort of brownish shade on the on this pirate here. But obviously, yeah, it's slightly damp, but once it's dried out, hopefully you'll see. It's looking, I'm pretty pleased with this. It's looking all right. So we shall leave that to dry for now. You know what I might do? Because this one's very nearly finished. What do I want to do to this? Do I want to do anything more to this? Yes, I do. I'm going to do a couple of very final highlights on this, and then I figure let's paint the base and stick down our lovely temple vampire buccaneer. Okay, so what were we going to go for? Oh, Trey sends another super chat saying, there are so many cats in my street, I'm convinced it's run by the Meowfear. Very good. What's that Studio Ghibli film with a high school girl who gets sort of accidentally engaged to a cat? And the king is just like... It's bloody great. Aha! Saul Reed has done a super chat to say, my exercise routine is genuinely 2/3 video game based. Ring Fit on Mondays and Thursdays, Beat Saber on Tuesdays and Fridays, and just treadmill run on Wednesday and Sunday. Saturday as treat day. That's impressive. I mean, Saul, like, yeah, when you decided to get ripped for Resd, you're looking fantastic. So I'm glad it works for you. Beat Saber's brilliant, actually. Davy Jones, very appropriate name for this stream, says, every time I watch the painting streams, I want to start painting the miniatures my brothers gifted me years ago, but then I don't know how to start, and I remember that I'm lazy. Just jump in. Give it a bash. It's honestly great fun. If you're looking for some instruction, it's actually on Dicebreaker. I made a video on how to, like, the very basics of how to paint a miniature. It's a really rewarding hobby, and like, if you've hung on to the miniatures, it's probably because you want to give them a go. The cat's return, yeah, or the cat returns, yes, very, very good. Oh, okay. A mix of Gene Stealer purple and pale sand is not a tasty paint combination. If anyone's curious. Okay, so I've gone for a very light lilac colour, and I'm going to do just the tiniest... Ooh, that's not tiny. I'm going to do some very... I'm going to highlight this, is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you can see sort of around the collar and this side of the jacket down here. I've done some sort of very light purples. And then I'm just doing the other lapel. And it looks like that. Just to sort of really pick out the edges of the cloth. Fuck. That's fine. Oh, I haven't listened to this song in ages. Chlorine and Wine by Baroness. What a tune. Some incredible harmonies and just a really good, like, rousing chorusy bit. Do like a bit of Baroness. Very good band. There we go. Just doing a bit in the corner here. Getting there. It was a bit untidy, that one, but it'll be okay. Oh, pleased with that last highlight there. This one here, that went nicely. Oof. Titan Uranus says, I like that this model is unarmed. There is too much war in Wargaming, too little pointing. Yeah, it's got a ball, which has spikes on it, but phew. Rob and Ronnie are talking about the most disgusting tasting paints. Ginger Pickle McPickle says, hey Johnny, if you publish your playlist, we could listen along. Yeah, I've sort of been asked about doing that before, but this is honestly just like, it's just on shuffle with a whole bunch of stuff. Am I calling you done? I think I am for now. Yeah, I call that finished. Like, didn't take a ridiculous amount of time. I'm pleased with the colours and how well they pop. Yeah, happy with that. So let's start doing the base. Eleanor says, are those wee pointy teeth? They are. 'Tis a vampire, who is also a pirate. A vampire first. Aiden Folk says, isn't there a Darkest Dungeon character who attacks by pointing like that? Yes. I think it's called Accusation as the attack, and they're like... Titan Uranus says, oh, it's a Blub Blub guy. Yeah, it's a Blub Blub guy. Blub Blub. Will says, the worst paint is Typhus Corrosion. I've never tasted Typhus Corrosion, but I can fully believe that that one's grim. Okay. So, now we're just going to paint a stone temple base. Not painted one of these yet, so we'll see how it goes. I need a bigger brush. Eleanor says, so vampirism made them turn to a life of piracy? They are lit. So, this is actually a sports team that happen to be vampires, and their team gimmick is that they are pirates, and they hate that gimmick because they were told that it would help them gain fans and win matches, but it hasn't really paid off, but they feel like they can't go back on it now, so they're stuck in a life of piracy. And they're also having to confront the fact that they're not very good at sport. So they're quite tragic vampires, really. But so it goes. Right, so we've got a couple of different greys. And I'll probably get the cream colour involved as well. Let's start with Ashen Grey. C. Clark says, has anybody already asked if they're Stone Temple pirates? Very good. But do they sparkle? I doubt it, but... Eleanor says, aren't all vampires tragic as a gimmick? Very, very true. You know, they're all like, oh, the allure, I'll give you power and immortality. It's like, mate, you've got a really, really strict bedtime. You can't be like, oh, what a crazy night. We stayed up until noon. It's like, no, you die. Squares. Ta-da! Grey. Wait for a minute for that to dry. Oh, Chaos says, I know they're just coloured sugar water, but damn if this massive bag of ice pops wasn't the best purchase I've made recently. Is that one of the ones where it's like the little tubes and you push them up? Because those are brilliant. I really like chewing the ice through the plastic, so you like, and then just like suck up the mush. It's great. Slush, really. Okay, Cyborg Penguin says Marceline from Adventure Time is pretty cool. Very true. I take that back. Marceline's the best. Adam Burrows says, so how would the Vampire Coast feel about them? I don't know. Which he still says that's a very Norse Transylvanian accent. How would the Vampire Coast feel about them? I haven't the foggiest. I feel like they're not popular. They're like I feel like half the people who support this team support them ironically because they hate them. Ta-da. Ginger Pickle McPickle says, so vampires in the summer months are a 5-hour problem? Yeah. All you need to defeat the vampire menace is one 5-hour energy drink. And you're fine, you know? I just not, bless him. Will says, chewing ice pops like that sounds like you're in need of enrichment in your enclosure. That is such a specific and brilliant burn. I just want someone to finally take the hint and to spend a tractor tire from the ceiling for me to bat around. Ugh. I Am Legend. That was a shit film, wasn't it? That was a terrible adaptation of a book. They willfully drove past the point without even stopping. They ran a red light to get past the point on that in that film. Oh yeah, Fist of Fury says if they're in Norway in the summer, they won't be able to leave for days. It's a very, very good point. HC Bird says, give them a salt lick. Yeah, come on. Just a block of crisps on the wall for me to nibble at. So I'm going in with a lighter grey now, but I'm kind of almost want to stipple it on slightly unevenly. And I'm going to shade this really unevenly as well, sort of splotches of brown and even some greens in there probably. Yep, coming together. What? Will says I've got a pal who weaves fire hose for zoo enclosures. What a specific and wonderful occupation. I'd love some woven fire hose for my enclosure. Oh my god, the egg swinging chair thing we've got on the balcony. It continues to deliver. It is the most relaxing place in this entire flat to be. Just out on the balcony, cup of coffee, swinging gently in the breeze. I love it. Trezen's done another super chat say they were actually going to stick a lot closer to the book originally, but the test audiences crapped all over the back end of the film as a result. Oh, that's annoying. Thanks, test audiences. Because my goodness me, you ensured that that film was a turkey. Right, so there we go. That's looking stone-like, isn't it? And then I'll just sort of stipple a bit of Nuln Oil on there. A bit of Agrax Earthshade. Where's the green one gone? There's Deal 10. Gaming with Geezer says, so when Johnny gets a P.O. box, who's going to mail them a Zorb? Very funny. Cyborg Penguin asks, which one is I Am Legend? It's the one with Will Smith in it. It's not Will's pal's occupation, it's a hobby. That's impressive. Okay. Here we go. We're going to stipple on the shades now. Literally just going to pop it down in a bunch of places. Like this. 1. 2. Didn't need much null oil on there, really. Crusher Wobble says, well, let's not blame the audiences themselves. It's a terrible way to make a movie, and anyone involved in making them should know better than to rely so heavily on them. That's fair. That's yeah. Will says, being able to apply shade like this without making a fart noise with your mouth is impressive. Oh no, it's really fun. God damn it, Will. Alright, there we go. I'm not sure the green really works, so I'm going to stop using that. But that is one completed templey base. Which means it's time to glue myself to myself. Well, once that's dried. Because we've got this little thing to stick on this little thing. And it says, is it bad that Jean is my favourite character in the Gentleman Bastards sequence so far? Absolutely not. I've got the Wicked Sisters tattooed on my chest. Bloody love Jean. He's a magnificent character. I'll not hear a bad word said about him. Although when he eats the apple core whole, I mean, I eat apple cores, but the way Scott Lynch manages to describe it does sound horrible. At the very, very start of The Lies of Locke Lamora. "3G says, hi Johnny, evening all, late as usual. A friend has convinced me to pick up 40k again. This has given me inspiration to paint the Sisters of Battle I just had delivered. Yes, please. I collect Sisters of Battle. I really like that faction. I mean, horrible, like any other 40k faction, apart from Orcs and Tyranids, but still, I do love the models. Will says, oh shit, you know what is a good adaptation of a book? Tell me. Is there still blue tack on you? No. Okay. Okay. That's dried enough. Here comes the super glue. Yep, I've stuck myself to the model. Ow. Oh, why are you leaning like that? You shouldn't be leaning like that. Sir? Sir? Why are you leaning? You see this? Well, it's certainly sticking, so... Okay, that's alright. That's not so terrible, is it? There we go. There's the base. There is the first completed player for this Blood Bowl team. Ta-da! Great. Well, while that glue dries, we can go back to this little delightful crewmate. Is that a bit of thunder? I think it's a bit of thunder. But first, how about we have a little break, eh? It's 6:30. We've been going for 2.5 hours. We'll probably do a little bio break. Let's... Eleanor says it must be to balance his delightful backpack. He is leaning quite a bit, but you know what? It's fine. I'll live with it. Yeah, let's take a little break. It's going to be like 5 to 7 minutes, probably. I always feel like 10 minutes... I'm sort of ready to get started again before it's time, so... Is that ridiculous? No, it looks alright. Does it look alright? It looks alright. Does it look alright? It looks alright. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, yeah, 5 to 7 minutes. Have a stretch, have some water. Are you hungry? Have you taken any medication that you need to do today? Blah, 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 blah. You know what to do with a 5 to 7 minute break. Whatever you want to do, as long as you aren't hurting anyone, then, you know, do what you want. So yeah, be back in a bit. Here is the dog. Here is some soothing music. See you shortly. have anything in my beard? I don't think so. Just ate half a bagel. Now that's out of the way, let's continue painting some vampires who are also pirates. Vampires who are also pirates. It's what's for lunch. Do I have a brush behind my ears? No. That's too big. Need a small brush again. Really am enjoying these synthetic brushes. I think they're great. Okay. Where did we get to? Some more water in that paint. There we go. Oh no! The night switch says you gave me a fright, a little startle. I'm sorry. It's always weird coming back from a break. Never quite sure sort of how hard to come in. I try and be gentle and non-startling, but alas. So what I'm doing now is I'm going back in with the same flesh colour we used before we shaded the model. And I'm just picking out a smaller area of the muscles than we painted before. Just to give the sense of light hitting it. Doot. And also because people rightly said that it was good that this particular person looks so pale. So I'm kind of sort of keen to make sure that comes through. Because the shade I use is very red, which obviously makes these things look quite vital and well. Whereas I want this guy, jacked though he doubtless is, to look a little bit pale, almost as if a vampire has lunch from him every single day. Yep. Lovely pale. So I've not done this side of the chest really, so you can sort of see the difference. It's just ripped. Just absolutely ripped, isn't he? Whoopsie. There we go. There's that. It's time to work on the leather again. I really thought these were going to take ages to paint, but I'm rattling through them at quite a pleasing clip. Ooh, wait, hang on a minute. I've got that even paler flesh tone, haven't I? Let's do some little teeny tiny highlights. Oh, we also didn't highlight that dude's face. Well, that's fine. Let's use the even paler shade. Very sparingly, mind you. To just really make this guy look unwell. Yes! Super anemic. Oh, Eleanor says, I have to say I'm enjoying the purple. Thank you. Yeah, it's a really nice, rich colour to paint with, and it goes on very smoothly. Oh, yeah. Ah, oh, crewmate, you do not look well. Just little teeny tiny touches. Hopefully you can sort of see them around here. Ta-da. Yep, sure enough, I stopped talking because I was having to do some tiny things. Witchy Stella says, muscles, muscles everywhere, nor any drop of blood to provide them with the necessary nutrients. I know, this poor chap looks very unwell. Cool. That went well. Fun, fun, fun. Titan Uranus says, actually, he'd probably be fun to pale around with. Boo! Oh, 3G says, Johnny, what brushes do you use? This is a Citadel Colour Synthetic. I only got it quite recently, but it's great. It's sort of the new Citadel Synthetics, probably the best synthetic brushes I've used, but I haven't used loads of them. So yeah, that's sort of about it. I've played around with other things like brushes from Green Stuff World and Rock Ninja and stuff. I do like the Citadel brushes, but I think maybe that's just because they're the ones I learned with. I don't know. Ow. Did you hear that? A little tink. As a can pulling a hair out from my moustache. So that's nice. Cyrinx32 says, hey, I just tuned in. How's everyone doing? Doing pretty well, thank you. Welcome aboard. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I am painting basically some of my favourite things to paint, just like skin tones, leathers, purple shades. I've accidentally, on purpose, but mostly accidentally, picked a colour scheme that sort of I know I'm going to really enjoy painting, which is great. So I've got no shortage of models to get through. Angel Beat says, know that feeling. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Tink. Just the can, just like deciding, actually, bit of can tax. I'm going to have one of these hairs, thanks. Very unpleasant. So now I'm just going back in with the lighter brown I used before, just to sort of, again, just try and build up the sense that this leather is quite worn. The Nice Witch says, "Look at those muscles, baby! I'm buying 17 tickets to the gun show. Who's coming with?" Yeah, this despite being a thrall who gets, loses blood on the reg to their vampire master, this guy's looking pretty good. Has anyone watched anything good recently? Did anyone watch Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson, the actor who famously likened playing an Asian person to playing a tree? It's kind of wild how during the pandemic just releasing a film on the streaming service and getting people to stump up money for it has become like the norm because people aren't going to the cinema. It's really been really interesting. And folks is watching Loki. I've not seen it. To be honest, I don't really keep up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The last Marvel Cinematic Universe film I watched was the first Avengers, and I watched it in the cinema. Oh no, wait, that's not right. That's not true. I have seen Black Panther. But Alex Samara says Black Widow was all right. Will says, she fucking what? Yeah. She got called on playing an Asian character. And I think it might have also been talking about trans characters. She was like, I should be able to play any person, whether they're like trans, cis, purple, white, or a fucking tree. And it's like, oh, okay. She really dug in on just being like, I'm an actor, I should be able to play whatever role I want. And it didn't go down super well in the Asian community, I can tell you that for nothing. Cyborg Penguin's gonna see Black Widow with friends on Wednesday. Emma Benson is thoroughly enjoying Loki. I should really try and watch more things. I just don't make time for them. But then, I try and, because of that classic thing where it's like if I'm doing leisure time, I should be doing something productive. I try and paint as much as possible, or like I'm learning Italian at the moment, so trying to just keep up with the old Duolingo before the bird gets angry and yells at me. Are you done, little thrall? Are you done? Are we done with you? I think we might be. This is going ridiculously swiftly. Like, I didn't think I'd finish this miniature on this stream, let alone start. I haven't done the purple. There we go. That's what's missing. There we go. I'm also... Richie Stella says, the bird is ever angry. Too Cool for Cape says, don't let the capitalism overtake your free time. This is very true. I really need to stop pressuring myself to be productive with my spare time and just enjoy having spare time, to be honest. But Alex Samaras says, I might have missed it. What language are you learning on Duolingo, Johnny? I'm learning Italian. I had a conversation with a friend who... similarly to me has Italian heritage but doesn't speak Italian, and we were like, I kind of would like to learn, and she actually suggested we get lessons together, and I thought that's a great idea. But in the meantime, I started learning on the Cursed Bird app, the other Cursed Bird app. The Nice Witch says, topless mate, I want to run to you. Goodness me. I didn't realise that a small resin miniature could evoke such feelings in people, but here we are. Johnny, have you seen Morte Accidentale di un Anarchico, the play by Dario Fo? I have not. Any good? I'm assuming so, if you're recommending it. Eleanor says, is Duolingo good? Yes. It's interesting, because, like, sometimes it will get you to translate... I've used it before, and I was like, why is it trying to get me to learn how to say the men write in the sugar? And I was like, this is nonsense, it's silly. But I realised what it's doing is just sort of, even if the sentences aren't super useful, it's getting you to focus on how to say, like, you know, it basically stealthily teaching you how to start conjugating verbs in the language, and I think that's interesting. And like, do I think I'm going to learn Italian solely from using Duolingo? Absolutely not. I'm gonna try and get lessons, and I think I'll need them if I want to actually become a confident speaker. But basically playing some weird mini games in that language has been useful, and my confidence has grown to the point where I'm like, I think I could not only learn this, but I think I could enjoy it. So I think it's a really, really useful tool. But you know, like, as with anything, it's like, do you expect it to do all of the heavy lifting, or, you know, is there sort of willpower or further reading or learning required? And absolutely, you need to put a lot of yourself into it. But generally speaking, it's pretty decent. Okay. Laura B says, Duolingo is good for practice, but shouldn't be the only thing you use to learn. There you go. It's been good for getting me thinking about languages again. It's been a while since I tried to learn one. Right, so I've done another layer of the sort of purple we used to base, and I'm going to mix some of the lighter purple in there, just like we did before. Tanya says it is a good play, and it's also translated into English, so I figured it could be useful as a learning tool. Clever. Good idea. I'll give it a go. Syrinx32 says, also, don't underestimate the emotional pressure of the Duolingo owl. It is designed to make you feel emotionally distraught when you don't practice. Criminy. Didn't realise it was that pushy. I mean, in the end, I stopped using the whale app that helped track my water intake, because it was getting judgy. Steal yourself, the nice witch. I'm highlighting this this topless mate's buttocks, such as they are. Booty, booty, booty. Not much of it, but it's rocking everywhere. Awooga. Very, very funny. Timothy Thomas has done a super chat saying, hey Johnny, this stream was just what I needed while I nursed this hangover. Hope you feel better soon. I escaped without one, thankfully. But yeah, I think a lot of people are feeling probably a bit worse today, especially in the UK. I saw somebody do a pretty epic walk of shame past the flat earlier, actually. He was sort of stumbling along with, I think, a McDonald's milkshake and just looking like we've been through hell. It was quite impressive. It's like, there goes a football fan. Okay. There we go. That's that pirate. Happy with that. I'm going to call this guy done. We're steaming through these. I had no idea. Well, I've done 2. Let's not completely lose our shit. But very pleased with how this is going. Right. Who's next? It's this. Definitely a vampire. They've got their mouth open and they're going like hiss because they're a vampire. They're almost certainly going to be wearing a purple coat because that's the team colours in it. Oh, they've got fun little knee pads. I don't know if you can see this, but they're like little theatre masks. It's like Statler and Waldorf. It's good to be heckling again. It's good to be doing anything again. Oh, 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 oh. That was a bad Statler and Waldorf. Anyway. Okie dokie. And we're back to the start. Let's see. Is that a glove? Ah, it's knuckle dusters. So we do want to paint that hand. Is that a glove? No. So we do want to paint that hand. And you're also wearing... Well, you're also wearing a face. Going to paint the hands and the face is what I meant to say there, really, but here we are. That's gone on a bit thick. Move some of that away with the brush. There we go. Not being... Oh, bloody hell. Painting off camera again. Silly. There we go. Oh, man. I'm really having fun painting these. They turn out to just... Sometimes you just get sculpts that you really vibe with and you're like, yes, these are a delight. I think it's just a while since I've painted anything that isn't a Games Workshop miniature, and these are actually really nicely detailed. That's probably why I'm finding this quite so refreshing. What's that? Is that hair? Yes, you've got hair, haven't you? Oh, good. They've started talking to their miniatures. That's a good sign, isn't it? Nothing worrying about that. Blair! Ugh. Okay. Let's try to work out what's what here, really. That all feels like metal to me. Yes, it is. Okay, great. Right. Go up a brush size. Witchy Stella says, I feel like anyone would look like a goon wearing a tricorn in 2021. Unfortunately, I might add. I know what you mean. I've got like a cowboy hat that I really, really love, and it's like I can't wear that. I'm not old enough to like, I feel like I'm gonna hit an age where I can pull off a Pratchett hat and no one's gonna blink. But I'm not there yet, which is irritating. Ryan Connolly has done a super chat. Doesn't say anything. Ryan Connolly is the strong and silent type. And you know what? That's just what makes Ryan Connolly Ryan Connolly. Thank you very much for the super chat, Ryan. Slapping some purple onto the vampire. Why are you giving him purple trousers? He doesn't have purple trousers. He wears a purple coat. Oh well. Let's paint the coat, I guess. Since we've already got the purple out. The important thing about painting is to forgive yourself for your mistakes. Oh yeah, Tom Chapman said Pratchett hat and meteor sword, the full look. I forgot Terry Pratchett had a meteor hat sword. Emma Benton says, I want to be more of a hat person, but I'm just not. I think you and I are similar in that regard, Emma. We can both rock a beanie, and that's absolutely fine. But personally, that's as far as I feel like I can go for the time being. I do look forward to becoming of an age where I can just wear a Pratchett hat. But it doesn't feel like I'm there yet. Cameron Thomas says, evening, Johnny. I've got to head out for some training that I don't have the capacity for at work. Have a wonderful rest of the stream. Thank you very much, Cameron. I hope the training goes really smoothly and you have a lovely rest of the day. Bob says, I tried wearing a hat, but I mainly look like a dealer or someone on the run. Yikes. Roswell Watton's on a super chat saying, I've been trying to find an accessible game for two boys on the autistic spectrum who live nearby to give them something to play as they're being bullied. Does anyone have any suggestions? That is a very, very good question. Co-op stuff that they might be into. Let's see. I mean, like, Minecraft is obviously like a very neat and accessible and just lovely sort of colourful game that people can get into, and it, multiplayer servers can be sort of quite decent spaces depending on which server you join. Ideally, it would be like a private server or something. What else is there? I mean, genuinely, I'm really enjoying Zoo Tycoon at the minute, as I keep saying. Like, that's some lovely co-op action. God, this is tricky. Chat, lend a hand. Because there must be something that's going to sort of stand out. Oh, that's gone on a bit thick. Realised I didn't put this stream on low latency like I normally do. So there's a bit of a delay between me and chat. But hopefully, Roswald, we'll be able to get some good recommendations together for you. Ooh, Will says Satisfactory. That game's really good. It's, sort of running around making just a space factory. You can get super deep with it, but it also holds your hand quite nicely during the early stages, so you can sort of slowly build stuff up. It's quite chill. Also, Astroneer Ashna is bloody lovely. I really like it. I've been meaning to go back to Astroneer, actually. I see, Will, in the Night Switch, you're talking about that tweet from Imogen West Knights about, yeah, what is the name for this type of man? Yeah. I'm absolutely on the way. I got tagged in that tweet so many times. You're like, look, it's you. One small silver earring, likes an ale, is not a complete bellend. Right. There's the obligatory purple coat. We'll work on the trousers now. And then we'll do the coat. Do the cream on the armour bits. They practically paint themselves. Also, Jane says, oldie but goodie, Stardew Valley. Yeah, that's a good one. Although Stardew Valley, I don't know, maybe it's because I never, ever, ever, ever go into the town and interact with people. I feel like that's can be quite grindy. Burrito says, reliable delivery service. I've never played it, but never know. Rudy says Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing it can be quite frustrating in multiplayer, I think, because one person is always visiting someone else's island. Tony Rona says, I think Johnny could get away with a skipper hat. Interesting. I don't know. Hang on. I'll show you the one hat I do have. Well, I have beanies, but the hat I have. So I got this when I first started playing Deadlands to help me get into character, and it's a very nice hat. Like, I really do like this hat a lot. But the thing is, I put it on and like it doesn't look bad, but it's quite dusty. There is an element of it where you're just like, they're trying a bit too hard. Actually, it's like, sort of just want to walk over and be like, can you keep it down a little bit? But it's my head. So it fits better now I've got a buzz cut, but yeah, I don't know. That's my hat. Here we go. But again, give me another 15 years, I pop that on, no one's going to even blink. It's going to be like, oh, right, there we go. Yeah. The Night Switch says, oh my god, yes, my dad literally has the same hat. It's a good fun hat. Will says, oh my god, Johnny, that's the ideal wizard hat. Is it? This hat gives off the energy that you know how to whittle. The funny thing is, I actually have some whittling tools right here. Hetnakick says, it doesn't work with your accent, Johnny. Dang it. Indiana Johnny. Yeah. Chaos says, that hat and the apron makes it look a little like you should be threatening hitchhikers with a bloody pitchfork. Yeah. Down the Real Ale pub doing a bit of scrimshaw. Stop it, Will. I also do scrimshaw. I haven't actually used these yet, but a friend got me some whittling tools for Christmas. Oh, I haven't even taken them out of the bag yet. Oh god, no, you're right. Oh no. I mean, I'm not going to put the hat on, but yeah, don't want to be holding that and wearing that hat. Being like, well, you're in the wrong part of town there, buddy. Anyway, there you go. But that was us talking about hats for a surprising amount of time. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'm going to put my headphones back on and get back to painting. Oh, Will says, for the record, I'm very pro that hat. Thanks, Will. I'll find the right hat for me someday. The hat looks like it's from the covers of the Dresden Files. The Nice Witch says, and now Johnny's going to play us a tune from the Hurdy-Gurdy. I mean, Hurdy-Gurdies are so expensive, otherwise I would have one. But that's why I started learning the concertina, because it was... 1/30th of the price of a hurdy-gurdy. Is that right? I think so. Yeah. Nice Witch says, loved it. Can't wait for Hat Chat next week. Yeah, it's going to be good. Emma says, yes, hat stream, please. Wow, who knew? Does that hats are what the community wants. I can work with that. That's fine. We can go hat stream if we want. Painting some trousers. Painting a vampire's butt. Well, says, whenever the hat isn't on the screen, someone should be saying, where's Johnny's hat? Johnny's hat, you look like you have something to say. Do you? Yes. The Nice Witch says, that's why I started learning the concertina. Ha ha ha, Johnny, please. I mean, in my defence, you've all known about me for long enough. This shouldn't come as a surprise. Really enjoyed learning the concertina, actually. I've not done it in a while, but... What would hat stream even be? Would it just be me in a massive hat shop, streaming myself trying to find a hat I like? Oof. Gonna build blue down there. And then I'm gonna mix some black in there because it's too light. Whatever you have to describe Johnny, start with, you know, Johnny with the hat. Oh God, no. Mill Nerds, very good, Matt Bray. Enjoying that one. Nice Witch says, remember when Johnny was wearing a hat? I've opened Pandora's hat box here, haven't I? I've also put too much black in this paint. Oh, have I? No, I haven't. It's fine. Johnny farming potatoes stream? That one is niche. I'm not sure about that. Right, that's the coat done, sort of in a dark brown. What else do we need to do? The cream on the armor bits, the hair on the back of the vampire's head. Oh, all of the leather. We'll get there. Oh, I'm glad Pandora's hat box went down well. Bob says, Johnny, I've watched a stream which was just some guy on the farm feeding cows. Hat stream ain't so weird. Interesting. I wonder if there's like an online service where you can be like, look, please send me 60 hats and I'll send back the ones I don't want to keep. Because that could be a hat stream. Just me trying on 60 hats. 3 minutes per hat. 4 minutes per hat, really, and you've got yourself a whole stream. That's without a break. let's get cracking on this cream. Nathaniel Levy says, if you get the P.O. box, expect to get a lot of hats in the post. Oh dear. Oh no. Don't hat the player, hat the game. Titan Uranus, please. Or do I still have a newsboy? I had a newsboy for a while. I kind of like... Not quite Peaky Blinders hats, but not a million miles away from that. Never seen Peaky Blinders, but I know people enjoy it. That's fascinating. Well done, Johnny. That'll keep him coming back for more. Right. Just starting to get... Nick Jeffrey says, your hat stream sounds like Andy's Morgan Mondays. Yes. I never tuned into Morgan Mondays, but it doesn't... I mean, I know Andy Farron, and I know Andy Farron plus Red Dead Redemption 2, so I can fully believe it. Andy's got taste. Andy's got good sartorial senses. There we go. Nice Witch says, I watched Peaky Blinders for the plot. Cut to montage of Cillian Murphy. Yeah, fair. It's a good looking fellow. Actually, it's weird. I feel like these pirates are actually quicker to paint up than the goblins. Or maybe that's because I was doing a batch of goblins last week, whereas I'm just focusing on one model at a time here. I don't know. I'm having a wonderful time. The heat in this room is starting to get to me, though, but I don't think my brain is completely melting yet. You'll know when my speech centre starts to go, and I just sort of leave ever longer pauses between sentences. Emma Benton says, I wonder if I could pull off a flat cap. I reckon. I think you could. Do you have to wonder why they have like an armoured skull on their back? That's not really serving any purpose, apart from aesthetic. Surely if you fell back on that, it would hurt a lot. I mean, I can't speak to vampire physiology specifically, but I think it's a stupid idea. Colin Jacobs says, I find focusing on one model at a time is a lot more fun and easier to do. Yeah, it's good. I mean, if I'm painting just rank and file things, like if I'm painting like 20 clan rats or whatever, then I actually find it a little disheartening to be like, all right, done. Now back to the beginning. So I do try and do those in batches just to get a few of them out of the way at the same time. But especially with this team, every sculpt is unique, so I do kind of want to just spend time with each model and just sort of work with what's there. Because, like, for example, this sort of shirtless pirate, I feel like if I was, you know, like, I'm going to do all of the skin on this and this and this, it's like suddenly this becomes an afterthought rather than, like, the most interesting bit of the model and the bit I really want to focus on. I don't know. It's funny. Human psychology is interesting, isn't it? Tom Chapman says, I can't wear a flat cap without looking like I'm heading to a cider festival. I don't see how that's a bad thing. Probably get directed to a lot more cider festivals, perhaps ones you didn't even know were happening. It's gutted to be down in Devon last weekend. Not this one, just gone, but the one before. But missed the Devon County show. A friend was really pumped about it. You get like, just give you cider. They'll bung you a sausage. There's sheep shearing. It's, you know, seems like a great day out, really. But we unfortunately had to get back to look after the dog. One day. Is anyone here into the Devon County show? Is it as wonderful as it sounds? Please lie to me and say that, you know, that it is, even if it isn't. Rob J says the armoured skulls maybe to protect their heart from backstakes. Interesting. I hadn't considered that. I mean, Blood Bowl's a game in which people often cheat. Or players, rather. I don't think anyone I've played with has cheated. As far as I'm aware. Gillian Hickok has done a super chat. The super chat is blank. But Gillian, thank you very, very much for the super chat. Regardless, if that was a misclick and you do have a message, don't bother super chatting again. Just type it in the thing and I'll read it out. But if you did just want to throw some money my way, then thank you. I really appreciate it. Oof. Matt Bray said, every year of my youth. Fantastic cheese tent and hamster tent. Bloody hell. Oh no, Quillen Jacobs has never heard the term bung to mean give. Yeah, bung you a sausage. I'll chuck you a sausage and bung you one. Of course, Matt, you always went to the Devon County show. It did sound pretty good. Like, you can go pet a cow. I want to do that. Cows are great. Mr. Tom for the Win says bung usually specifically means a bribe. That's not how I grew up knowing it. Titan Uranus says English cider isn't that good anyway. You're on thin ice, my friend. You're on thin ice. English cider's pretty fucking great, actually. Bloody love Scrumpy. Hetnikick says, come to Iowa, you have lots of cows. Maybe I'll see a wild roving Slipknot as well. They're from Iowa, aren't they? Oh, a bung is a bribe, but bunging you something is just a gift. Okay, right. Oh, Titan Uranus says context. Oh, I see. I wasn't allowed out to things with alcohol when I was an exchange student in Devon. I bet they were all shit and that English cider isn't that good anyway. That was, you're trying to make yourself feel better about a missed opportunity. I'm sorry, Titan Uranus. I misread that. And I'm sorry to confirm that English cider is really good. Quite fancy some cider now, actually. Tom Chapman says, Johnny's susceptible to sausage bribery, pass it on. Less than I used to be. Vegan sausage roll. We can talk. I mean, if I knew somebody who could, like, get me wholesale pallets of Greg's frozen sausage rolls, I'd do some shady business to get access to that, I think. Shouldn't really admit it on a stream in case, I get arrested 6 months from now for, I don't know, running a crime cartel based on vegan sausage rolls, but I've said it now. Angel Beat says, it's not the worst bribe. You're all going to be the death of me one day, I swear. Aldi have a jackfruit sausage roll that's pretty good for the price too. Oh, I think I've had that. Yeah, it's pretty good. Jackfruit's delicious. It really is. Iceland sells Greg's frozen goods. Yeah, but like, I'm talking like I want someone to turn up and just be like, shh, and drop off like 60 of the bastards. I don't want to just buy them legally. I want it to look really shady. Johnny, the first Greg's influencer. Never say never, Nathan. Actually, you know what? I rate the vegan steak bake over the vegan sausage roll. There, I said it. John Hall says, Johnny, okay, I get you 6 packets to run a D&D session for me, lol. How big's a pack, though? Eleanor says, but what would you realistically do with 60 bastards? Eat them bit by bit. I'd freeze them, and then I'd have a bastard every now and then. Thank you very much for the super chat, by the way, John Hall. That's really kind. Thunder Cookie says, ooh, a fashionable swashbuckler. I'm here for it. Also, hello, lovely skeleton pals. Hope you're doing great. We're doing pretty well, thanks. We're kind of actually whistling through some vampires who happen to be pirates. Here's possibly their leader, because he's got a very daft thing on his back. And then here's a shirtless, muscly dude. Johnny is dead to me over that steak bake comment. It's not my fault. The vegan steak bake's better than the vegan sausage roll. It just is. The Nice Witch says, my dream is to one day have a Greg's Black card. You know what? I once was making a series for Channel 4, specifically for 4OD. And the production company I was working for, this is when I was freelance between GameSpot and Eurogamer, had a Nando's Black card. And I went a few times just paying on the Black card. That was pretty good. But also, when we were doing shoots, which would often go into the night to sort of like help look after the talent, because there were sort of celebrities playing video games, kind of like Gogglebox. We'd get a bunch of Nando's in, so they'd be like, oh, Nando's, great, num, 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 num. Oftentimes they wouldn't eat it, and we wouldn't finish packing down the studio again until like 11:30 at night. So there was a period where I was working my ass off, having a great time, like I loved this job, but I'd cycle home and just eat cold leftover Nando's for dinner, and I did that 3 nights running. It was interesting. There we go. Tom Chapman says, I'm now drinking cider. I'm not a strong-willed individual. You're a well-equipped individual, though, if you manage to just pull out a cider like that. Windbush says, are you craving more Blades in the Dark? Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for, the eventual return of Ox Blades in the Dark, because I just love playing Casimir, but I do love that game. You know what I'm actually really jonesing for is Band of Blades, which is a Forged in the Dark game, but it's a very different campaign, and I think it's really really smart. I'd love to either play in or run a campaign of that, because a campaign's like 12 sessions, I think. It's just finding the time, as ever, with role-playing games, isn't it? Now, this particular vampire, I don't know if you can see it, the top of this sort of waistcoat has a little cravat. And I might make that red, just for shits and grins. Cheerful Spider's done a super chat to say, my favourite shady history fact, dairy interest instigated margarine bans have on... Oh, okay. Here we go. My favourite shady history fact. Dairy interest instigated margarine bans have on multiple occasions led to margarine bootlegging. Incredible. Wow, that's brilliant. Thank you, Cheerful Spider, for the fact and the super chat. Eleanor says, Johnny, have you seen The Magical Girl Forged in the Dark? I've not. Never even heard of it. Intriguing. Oh, yeah, these aren't mine. Sorry, I just found some of my friend's paints in my paint box and was very confused. Where's my red gone? There's a red. That'll do. Come here. There we go. Cool. There we go. Bootleg margarine, though. Bathtub margarine. Mixing it up in vats. Watching out for the police. That looks shit right now, but it'll be fine after a shade, I'm sure. Got a little red tie! Look at him go! Cheerful Spider says, I don't know, but I'm very hopeful there were high-speed margarine smuggling chases. Oh, absolutely. Where they'd, like, tip a big tub of it out the back of the van so that the police would skid and crash. Slightly random question, but I've just been sent a WhatsApp about this. Is the new Harvest Moon for the Switch any good? Has anyone been playing that? That's Harvest Moon for the Switch. Is it any good? Inquiring minds would like to know for the purposes of possibly playing Harvest Moon on the Switch. Yasmin Worry says smuggling bathtub margarine past the cops into a margarine speakeasy. Margarine speakeasies are such horrible concepts. Come on, sir, you've had enough buttery crumpets. We start picking out the leather. There's not much on this one, to be honest. It's just this belt. Oh, and the hat. Story of Seasons or Harvest Moon, because it's different, asks Laura B. The one that came out in March, apparently. What's it called, though? Huh? Modern World? One World? Yeah. One World. Yeah. Has anyone played Harvest Moon One World? Will asks, I have a question, pals. If I think... Oh, never mind. It's gone. Harvest Moon One World. Going to a margarine speakeasy to get absolutely toasted. You lot. Luke Sweeting says, "Hi Johnny, I'm such a big fan of your work." Thank you, Luke. That's very kind. Welcome to the stream. Harvest Moon is a name copyrighted by a different company. The franchise goes under Story of Seasons now, says Daniel J. Vaughan III. Interesting. Caught spread-handed. It's entirely possible that we... Nordfjord says, "Wait, is there Harvest Moon drama that I missed?" It's possible. But if anyone has played Harvest Moon One World on the Switch and can tell me, brackets actually my wife, whether it's any good, that would be great.
Thank you.
Don't know if you heard that, but that was my wife yelling thank you. Ronnie says, it's a bit meh for the price. It's alright, but overall I think I prefer Stardew Valley.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Oh, and Will says, looking at screenshots of One World, it looks cack. Yeah. No Surrenders done a super chat to say, watch the Backbone stream. Are you likely to finish it? I don't know. I don't really know. Like, it wasn't the most enjoyable stream in the end. It turned out to be pretty intense, that game. It was good, but I don't know if I want to stream it again. So I might not, to be honest. No Surrender said couldn't afford a less rude message. Sorry. No, don't apologise. Thank you very much for the super chat in the first place. I know One World got panned by critics. The game isn't very good. I recommend, says Crystal Dragon. Where's that gone? Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. There you go. Cool. Right, there we go. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, skeleton people.
I don't know if you all heard that, but that's my wife saying thanks. _poet says, "Vampire Pirates? You're damn right. These are the Succaneers. They're a really bad Blood Bowl team that has been going for 300 years and has yet to win a match. Could this be their season? Hopefully, otherwise I'm really bad at Blood Bowl." Will says, I was getting the vibe that Backbone also wasn't reaching the climax that the plot deserved at that point. Yeah. _poet, these are basically they are vampire pirates from Punga Miniatures. I like them, so I bought them and I'm painting them, and yeah, they're going to be a Blood Bowl team for a bit. Emma Benton says, I started Slime Ranch the other day, and God, do I love that game. I was really looking forward to playing Slime Rancher, and then I watched my friend play a bunch of it. You know, when you're playing something on Discord and someone else is playing something, well, you're on Discord and you're playing something and someone else is playing something else, so you both stream your own game. I don't know if that's a thing people do, but it's what we do sometimes. And Slime Rancher looked stressful. It looked like not fun. It certainly didn't look like the very, very chilled experience I was after. So I decided not to install it in the end. But I know people really love it, and more power to them, frankly. But yeah. Oh, God. Oh, my back hurts. That's it. What do we need to do? We need to layer out that flesh. We need to paint the vampire's hair. Make him a glampire, am I right? And then that's kind of it for this bit. I can sort of get onto shading. Whipping through these. Oh, okay. Apparently the start is a bit stressful. Once you get going, it's beautiful and adorable. Apparently Slime Rancher isn't super stressful. Okay. I am... I'm really looking forward to playing some more Zoo Tycoon this evening. Ow. The Nice Witch says it's not a full crafty type game with like Stardew, etc., but there's a wonderful little game called Mutazione about gardening and grief, which I very much recommend to basically everyone. Interesting. Move your mic a little more towards you. You're leaning over towards it, which can't help the back. It's more that I'm planting my elbows instead of sitting up. No, you're right. Let's put the mic up here. There we go. There we go. But yeah, this evening after this is done, gonna order a takeaway and gonna play some Zoo Tycoon with a couple of pals. It's gonna be nice. That's my plan for the evening. Gonna stop working at this desk and start just relaxing at this desk. Cyborg Penguin says Zoo Tycoon versus Planet Zoo. Wait, which one am I playing? Yeah, Zoo Tycoon. The Frontier one. Simply Dave MN says, odd random question, do you ever think of colouring your beard? Oh, goodness me, no. Huge respect to those who do it, but not for me. Yeah, just not something I've ever thought about doing. Craig Dos Santos has done a super chat. Say, for a really chill experience, you should jump into some RimWorld. Most chill game ever. Defo won't make your blood pressure rise. Finger guns. Nice Switch. They're pointing out that I sound very much like a 12-year-old them. I think it's a good thing, frankly. As far as I'm aware, Sarah, you're an absolute boss, so I'll take that. And Zoo Tycoon's great. Especially because, obviously, we can't help ourselves from renaming every single exhibit. So, like, we had some Caimans, and they were in the exhibit called Cayman, How's It Going? There was, there was Lamalopolis. That's where all the llamas used to live. There was Cougar Town. That's where we kept our cougars. You can also hire mascots to be there and be like, I'm the lion mascot for the zoo, blah, 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 blah. So I hired one of them and called it Disgraced Actor Mel Gibson, which was good fun. Yeah, had fun. So, yeah. I'm just going to stream Zoo Tycoon on Thursday. I just want to. It's a lovely experience. And it's less like, uh-oh, things can go wrong than Jurassic World Evolution, which I do love, but it was quite a stressful stream, not least because Cabot Finch wouldn't shut up. So, wow, I really just painted this vampire's entire face white. But, I mean, he's a vampire, so that kind of makes sense. But, yeah. There we go. It's just happened. There's a bit of the stream where my speech center just goes. Oh, sadly, the RimWorld dev is a bell end. Yeah, that's a shame. Emma Benton says, "Oh, heck yes, Zoo Tycoon stream. Yeah, I'm going to do a challenge zoo and just sort of gently assemble the 38 or 39 species we need or something. Just have a very chilled time. It'll be nice. Or else. God. McAllitor, since you're asking, yes, my pronouns are they, them. It's not a preferable thing. Those are my pronouns. So. Oh, never mind. Bye. Nick Jeffrey says, can you kill your guests by releasing the animals? No, though. No, you can't. They can't escape. Which, now I've said it that way, seems a little ominous. But it's more that, like, I think keeping them happy is much more important. Like, I don't know, it's keeping them happy is very important. And if the animals aren't happy, then people stop coming to your zoo. Rather than in Jurassic World Evolution, it's like, if you don't keep them happy, they're gonna break out. It's just a lot more chill as an experience, really. Ooh, me back. Right, there we go. That's your hair done, anyway. There we go, that's that. Now... I just shade this bastard. I feel like that's close enough. Jack Stenholt has done a super chat saying, just realised that vampire is faced on the knees, which I suppose is better than being kneed in the face. Jan, is it Jan or is it Jan? I'm sorry, it's probably Jan. I feel like I owe an apology because that was a good super chat and I screwed it by dropping the miniature. But yes, the vampire is faced on the knees, which is better than being kneed in the face. I like it. It's good. Here's how we're looking so far with this little cheeky little vampire. Just gonna tighten your anuses with that pale face. The vampire reminds me a little bit of Lord Buckethead. I'm gonna shade this mini and then we'll start wrapping up, to be honest, because I don't know how much more painting we can really get done in the next 10 minutes, so we may as well not push ourselves. We're just gonna shade this guy. We'll do a gentle wrap up and then I'll let you all go about your days. Blazing Ace has done a super chat saying, hi Johnny, what is your overall opinion of Control? Bloody loved it. I thought it was excellent. Just like great story. I didn't agree with the I didn't agree with some of the criticism. People were like, the combat's a bit bad. I was like, it's not the best I've ever experienced, but it's also perfectly engaging. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, no, Control, massive thumbs up from me. I might end up playing it through again, but it is Jan with a soft J. Okay, thank you very much, Jan. I'd happily play that through again, sort of in my own time, or maybe just go back to it and pick up some side missions, because I know there's a lot I missed. But yeah, what a bloody game. It's a delight. It's really good. Hopefully that answers your question, and thank you very much again for the super chat. Here we go. Here we go. Whoa, those knee faces are really, really coming out now. Oh, for fuck's sake. Maybe I should go back to autofocus. I don't know. It's difficult. Hetnikick says, oh, shade this guy. I thought it said shave this guy. What, you don't shave your miniatures? Give them a hot towel? Offer them an earwax? Come on. How do they know they're being pampered? Emma Benton says, my biggest problem with Control was how poorly it ran on the base consoles. It was unplayable for about a month until they patched it. You know what? It was quite taxing on my PC, actually. And this is a pretty hefty rig. Like, my PC really worked to run Control in a way that it doesn't for Horizon Zero Dawn. And you'd think, like, of those two games, Horizon is, it feels like the one that's going to be a lot more taxing. And yet, here we are. Hopefully it's something they'll remedy in a future patch. Thunder Cookie says, okay, the knee faces are slightly more terrifying than I initially thought. Yeah, aren't they just? Big fan of this lot. Really enjoying the sucking ears. I'm going to try and work out what the actual team name is for everyone in sort of the Blood Bowl sort of world to ignore. But yeah. Right, well with that, let's have a little recap on what we've done, because we've got this little vampire, up to the shading stage, which is pretty good. And then, where else are we? Let's pull the focus. I'm absolutely delighted with this one, I'm not going to lie, because this is the model that I saw. I was like, that looks like so much fun to paint. This is the model that really made me decide to buy this team. God, the focus is just hard to maintain today. and I'm really pleased with how that's come out with the muscles. It was exactly as much fun as I thought it was going to be. And then we finished up this pointing chap with their temple base and their pointy teeth and their pointy hand. So yeah, that was a pretty productive stream. It went very quickly as well, it feels like. But yeah, thank you so much as ever for joining me on the stream. Like I really love doing this, and it's really nice just to sort of wake up and be like, what am I going to do? It's like, oh, today I'm going to have a nice relaxing time with a bunch of people on the internet. So I'll be back on Thursday. As I said, I'm going to stream some Zoo Tycoon. We can talk some more about hats if you want. Tell me about your favourite type of hat when, on Thursday while I pick up poo from antelope enclosures and just generally try and run the best gosh darn zoo I can. So, thank you all again so much. If somehow you're watching this and you aren't aware, I'm on Patreon. It's patreon.com/JohnnyChiodini, which is the URL of this here channel. Do like and subscribe and, do all that kind of stuff because it helps with the algorithm and it means that we can find yet more lovely skeleton pals out there to bring into the fold and just have yet more entertaining and chill streams. So, with that, I'm going to pop my glasses back on because I'm not painting anymore. And I'll let you all go. Lots of love. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye. Uh-oh. Where's the outro one? There it is. Goodbye. My wife laughed at me for not finding the button.